Here we go, people. We're live. You know what we could probably do? We could probably do... we could probably do this.
Have you done garden?
Hi guys, we're streaming. I know we're streaming. I know. Just
I'm just waiting for the advert to play before I can see you.
We're just sorting things out. Yeah, I think.
Oh, there's 2 adverts.
I think we'll go 4 up. There is a spare spot if anyone wants it, which is there below. I did mention it in chat, and I'm sure someone probably replied to me and I didn't see. Where are we? Actually, I want to go through your comments in a sec because I do want to check that out. Anyway, spare slot. Whoever wants it, let me know. If you've got me on social media, message me and I'll give you the link and you can get in. All you need is a browser and a camera and you can come in. Otherwise, I will just put us up in 4, in a quadrant of 4. Let me just sort that out. Layers, host, guest 1, guest 2, guest 4. Done. We can just go 4. Easy. If we don't have anyone, we'll just go guest 4 and then we'll just jump across to the chatties later. Okay, everyone, check mics and all that sort of stuff. We haven't had a chance to do that. So I know Darren's working, I know Chris is working, I know Andy's working, but just say a quick check.
Hello. Testing.
Check.
1, 2, 3.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Awesome. All right. Let's do this. Yes, it's official. The show has now started because that stinger just played. And no show can start without a stinger playing because that's just how things work. Anyway, hey, Synth Geekery 228. I had to check that. I always do. Don't even know what 228 means, but it means that you've had to put up with me for 228 times, which is quite a sad thing, to be fair. Give yourself a pat on the back for doing that. That's a bit of a long haul, I would say. Coming up to 5 years, if you haven't worked it out. What is this show about? It's about this stuff. Have you guys seen that stuff before? It's called synthesizers. Yes, synthesizers, drum machines, mixers, eurorack, modular synthesis, if you like, samplers. Yep, samplers as well. We do all the stuff here on the show. And if you don't like that, well then see you later. For the rest of you, stick around. We've got some news. We've got some funny things. We've got some segments. And then we've also got this thing at the end, which we're going to call Saturday Sonority. And who knows what we do during that. You might have to just find out. Anyway, let's say hello to everybody here, starting with a random number here. Hey, Andy. How are you, mate? How's your week been?
Morning. Hey, I made it this time.
You did.
Done well. I didn't sleep past my alarm, so... Yeah, things are going all right. Just really cold weather here now, finally. We're getting some proper fall-winter weather, some rain. It's actually been so cloudy and rainy lately, I haven't had a chance to do any astronomy shows because it's too cloudy. But, yeah, it's been fun doing this and that, and not... I was right behind on my noise members, so I didn't even get one done on the last day. I did one the day before the last day with the Kent Spawn controller, which is always fun for Imposter. But I haven't had a chance to do any since. I was going to do a few fill-in ones and just kind of launch them on the last day, and I didn't get a chance to. But yeah, other than that, just happy to be here and see what's going on with all you crazy folks.
Hey, awesome, man. Awesome. Nice to have you. And then we got Darren over in the UK. How are you, bud? How's your week been?
Good. Well, as Andy said there, it's getting cold. It's winter. I think it was -6 for the past 3 nights we've had now. It's I think it's only getting to about 1 or 2 degrees through the day, and then it's dropping back down to -6 again. So, yeah, pretty bitterly cold here. What have I been doing? I've been messing with, although you can't see it, my live rig setup, which is coming along. So
spooky.
Yeah.
Gotta love a bit of filtering.
So yes, my live rig set
Tasty.
2 starting to come together. So that's coming from the live rig, although you can't see it, but it's there. Long cable,
Need to set
so
up mirrors.
I can play. So I can play some. Yeah.
Nice
So
stuff.
that's coming along. That's coming along. And other than that, I haven't really done anything. I may have to, if I put a track out tomorrow, because I've not had one done, I may have to put out I don't think he'll mind, but Ted's Steve, who's been on a few times, we did a collaboration track, or we did a few actually, but I might put one of them out. I don't think he'll mind. I'll put the first one out that we did. He sent me some stuff over with atmospheres and really cool modular stuff, and then I built a track around that and then passed it back. So he's got them all. So I
Good,
might
Steve.
put that out tomorrow if I haven't got any time to do anything, because I'm still just trying to get this rig set up how I want it. I've got the idea. It's just getting it how I want it. So yeah. Other than that, I've not done anything. Yeah, it's been my day. Cold, and sitting around and trying to work my live rig out how I want to do it.
It'd be nice and warm in there if you turn everything on, though, surely.
Yeah. Well, I've got a little heater now. So last time I heated bust, but now I've got a little tiny heater. So now it's not so bad. But outside it is frozen solid.
Fair enough. Don't live in the UK, kids, if you don't like cold weather. Not really. Who's next? Chris. Hey.
Hello,
of-
that would be me.
Speaking of not cold weather.
Not cold weather, yes. I'm the same part of the world as you, so we're both suffering through summer. Although it's cooled down a bit now, so it's not so bad. Yeah, no, pretty intense week. Did a bit of music stuff. I finally got my modular syncing to my Ableton. I've got a master clock. I forgot that I had a module that could do that, and so I don't need a PAMS, which is awesome. So I was doing a bit of work with that. I'm going to be putting together a video of the GP82 and the Arturia Beatstep Pro, because I just had an idea about something I haven't shown yet. So I thought, that could be cool. I was doing a bit of testing, and that was sounding pretty wild. So I thought, I'll definitely have to do a proper video of that. Then I ran out of time because I opened my Etsy store today. So the GP82 is available for sale. Yes, I know people have probably forgotten what it is, and
Don't forget to chuck the link into the chat from.
yes, yep. I can't do it from here, can I, Rance? But you can do it from your end, can't you? I can't.
I can do it if you want me to find it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, you.
I'll
actually,
try.
you're right. No, you can't. You're right. Do I have the link? Did you send it to me, Chris?
I sent it to you in an email. Yes, it's just my makeshiftmodular.com link.
Oh, okay, that one. It's running.
It redirects straight to the Etsy store. It is running supposedly. I probably wouldn't if somebody says they've ordered one. That's cool.
Right, links in the chat.
Awesome. Yep. So links in the chat. Cha-ching, yes. Excellent. Thank you, Keith in Wofford, buddy. Yeah, I see he mentioned that he wanted to get one, so I sent him in a bit of a pre-release email letting him know what's going to happen. So that's cool. So that's online. There's only a limited number at the moment, but they are 10% off normal full price. So probably a good time to get it if you want to get it. So no worries. Yep. So as well as that, because that was quite an effort to get that done today, I got a whole lot of scam emails from scammers trying to convince me that my Etsy store was being needed permissions, and I had to send them passwords, and I just went, oh god, here we go. So that's always fun because it's the first time I've put anything on Etsy. Of course, all the scammers got very excited and said, oh, fresh meat. I nearly fell for some stuff. So yes, if anyone ever wants to compare notes on what those scams and how they operate, I can always talk about it on the show sometime later. But at the moment, I'm just
let me know if you want me to
glad
try
that
anything with my
everything's...
Keystep Pro or BeatStep Pro with it. So.
Yep, no worries, we'll do. Excellent, thanks, Andy. Yeah, so it's up, it's there. It's the first few units will be at that sale price, and we'll see how that goes. Etsy only lets me do a sale for 30 days, so I'll see what happens after that. But otherwise, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, and I have something else to announce later in the show, which Ranz knows about, and that'll come up in due course.
Yep, we'll do it soon. All right, I noticed that there's only 5 left, according to your Etsy store. So get in quick, guys. There will be more though, Chris, right?
There will be more. If they sell out, then I've got a pile of PCBs ready to go. I just need to get parts, and the parts are quite expensive, so I tend not to order them, order them in a 2-week batch. So it'll probably be 2 weeks between sort of batches. But I don't know how it's going to go. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. This is the first time I've done this. I don't know how it's going to sell and all that kind of stuff. So awesome. This is no aspersions on your show, because your show's done wonderful stuff for me. Thank you very much, Rant. But
leave the money on the fridge.
We'll see.
All
I don't know. Yeah. So, all good so far. Got to the milestone. Pumped.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll get stuck into some more of your stuff in a minute. Anyway, so just before I get to the chatties, I just thought I'd because I don't usually, I say how's your week been and everything for all of you guys, but I never really do it for me. And I thought, bugger it, I'm going to do it for me today. It's been pretty good, thanks, Ranz. No, it's the first sign of matters if you start talking to yourself. What I've actually been doing, I thought you guys would be interested. Those who are following me on Discord will know exactly what I'm talking about. During the week, I had to... This looks nothing different to you guys, right? It looks pretty much the same. Yes, but underneath all the desks and stuff, I crawled like a little rabbit. Yep, a little fluffy tail was sticking up in the air, dropping a few farts as I go. But basically what I did is I decided to reroute all the power in the studio. And this is a pretty... for some of you guys, you've probably got these elaborate power conditioning setups with, I don't know, diesel engine backup outside. I don't know. I don't have any of that. I've just got 4 wall plugs sitting on that wall over there where you can see my thumb pointing. And what I thought is with the 4, because they're all 10 or 15 amp, 240 volt, because we are in Australia, plugs, I thought, okay, so they're all fused back at the fuse box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to then use... a powering, monitoring, and remote system. And I've chosen to go with, this could be a really bad idea, so don't quote me, but I've chosen to go with a brand called TP-Link, and the product is called Tapo, T-A-P-O. And I'm just using their little smart plugs with the energy monitoring. Now, I'll put a link in the description in a sec, in the chat in a sec. The product I've got is part number P110. This is the one with energy monitoring, and I'll bring some screenshots up in a second. I'll show you kind of what they look like on your phone. The benefit is that I've got, as you can see in here, I've got kind of like walls. I've got a wall there, and I've got a wall here, and some more walls over that way. Where is it there? God, it's hard doing things backwards. And over this side, which you can't see, is all of my computers. I've got a Mac and a PC here, and lots of screens and stuff like that. So I've segregated the power into 4 sections, and I can turn each of them on and off as I'm using them. So at the moment, all 3 are on, and I don't really need that section over there on, so it's turned off. And the benefit is, for those of us who probably realized lately, energy prices have been soaring with inflation, and this is actually quite a smart thing to do, because believe it or not, those little black plugs that we plug our synthesizers in with, they actually do trickle a bit of power even when we're not using them during when they're turned off. So it's a good idea to actually switch everything off at the wall if you can, or if you've got a power board with switches on it, switch them off there. The cool thing about these little TP-Link products is you can actually remotely switch them off with your phone. So what you do is you just download the app, and you can actually... I'm not going to turn them on and off during live stream because that would probably be pretty bad, but you can actually turn everything on and off during the stream and make everyone sad. No, you can go into each section, like computers, focus, you bastard, and it tells me how much power I'm currently drawing, 445. This would probably be the worst I would ever do. And you can actually go into here and it does little graphs, which I think is pretty cool. Wow, look at that peak bit of power a bit earlier there. And you know, there's like, you can schedule your power to turn on and off. There's all sorts of cool stuff you can do. The benefit I've got now is that now I don't have to like leave things turned on and crawl under a desk to turn them off at the wall. That's kind of the big thing. But being able to monitor how much power I'm using, I can shut some things down. If I'm on a sort of just using the computer day, and I can turn everything else off, and it's not going to burn a hole in my pocket with my Powerball. Just thought you guys were interested in that. It doesn't do anything much more fancy than that, pretty much. So yeah, that's how my week's been. If anything breaks during this show, it'll be because I've been mucking around in here. Other than that, we shall continue on. Let's say hello to the chatties. You can ask me questions during the chat too, by the way, if you want to know a little bit more about that. I will, like I said, I'll post a link to the TP-Link Tepo P110. Where is it? Let's get it up on this. These are the little plugs that I got, and I'll just chuck it in chat now for you guys so you can check them out. That is an Australian link, so it'll probably reroute to you guys to an American or a UK link or wherever you are from. Anyway, I shouldn't assume where you're from. Kent Spong was the Yellow Guernsey winner today in chat. He was the first. Look at me being an early bird, he says. And then Steve, oi oi, young whippersnapper, says Steve. Big hello to you guys. And then should mention to the world that Kent's actually one of our channel members, which is amazing to have such royalty as a channel member here. So really, really happy to see that. Future World Machines was next, saying hi, and everything. Thumbs up. And then Chris came in with his big fat channel membership. That's awesome. Saying hi, folks. Then we've got Keith and Watford, also one of our channel members. Awesome to have you, mate, saying, ooh, hello. Geert Martins is there. Homegrown is there. Grace Griffin's there. They're saying howdy and g'day all and all sorts of stuff. And then we've got Bert, ASIO Head, Matt Brown, Synchrotron, which is Andy, which is our fellow jammer from the other week. He's saying big hello. Matt saying hi, folks. And we had Tracker Jack and who else? Who else do we have to scroll? Yes, I do, because they're all saying hello to each other. Kosh Dukai then jumps in and says hello. JP Page 2, big hello to him. Who else? Lady Aptitude's in there. Fantastic to see Lady Aptitude and everyone else. And then it kind of just scrolls for a bit. And then Half God, Half Beast jumps in and says hello to everyone. It's nice to have everyone anyway. James Glue is in there. Good on you. Jason Crouch is there. Afternoon all. And then it literally, I'm pretty sure I saw Robbie Fiocelli in there. Failed Muso. It literally scrolled. Inverted Popes is there. I can see him now. So big hello to you. And Steve Elbows I saw as well. Big hello to Steve. Yeah. If I've missed anyone out, I do apologize because it did scroll on me. But yeah, most of you guys can see that anyway. Awesome. Now we've got through the chatties. Like to connect with all you guys individually, but I did mention sort of early in the show that I've got a spare spot. It's still available below. You don't have to come on if you don't want it. That's no problem. We can do the show without that's in spot. But if you do want to jump in, let us know. You can just sing out my name in the chat if you want or whatever. I can't put StreamYard on tonight because I just can't be asked setting up the third computer, and it's just too much hassle. So I won't put StreamYard on tonight. I'll just leave it. So there's one more spot. If anyone wants to jump in, let us know and they can have it. Okay, right. Should we get stuck into it now? I kind of think I've forgotten to do one more thing. I'm just going to quickly grab that. Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute, people. Just while I'm grabbing something here, and we need to chuck that into the folder. Okay, we're good to go. think if I refresh that, we should be good to go. Let's just see if that's worked. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with the first segment. Ready to rock and roll. Yes, you guys probably would have seen this meme floating around, and I've decided to make it more modern.
Oh,
Make it more about today.
yeah, I've seen several of those lately in the neighborhood, which is so annoying.
Yeah. You can't even fit your mountain bike in the back.
It's just a dopey thing. Yeah.
It's pretty weird, isn't it? I kind of think there's a lot of people that will just buy it just to go, oh, look what I've got.
Yeah.
But I bet you can't even fit that synthesizer in the back. That's the funny thing about the whole thing, right?
It's pretty terrible.
All right. What's next? By the way, the original meme, do you guys remember the original meme? I probably should show you, shouldn't I?
It's a EMS or something, right? Isn't it?
No, there's a big, what is there, a Chevy or something in the back, right? Where are we? Yeah, I found it here. It'll turn up. If I refresh this, it will turn up. Let me see. There you go. That's what the original meme looks like.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, it's an old ad, I think, and it's turned into a meme. Let's keep going. There you go. Thanks for an amazing year. Oh, these Spotify for artists things are coming out, right? These are great. Someone put this into Discord. I should give them a credit for chucking it in, because they do the effort. It was Jack. Jack chucked this into Discord during the week. It is so true. Like, you basically have to stream a couple of billion streams for you to get 30.32 cents of revenue, and another 10 million to earn a minimum wage. It is pretty bad, isn't it? Guys, what I would just say is I don't think there is any way you can make good money on Spotify unless you're extremely, and you wouldn't be on the show. You'd be too busy organizing tours, and your name would be Taylor Swift or something like that. That's probably who's getting the money. Yeah. Anyway,
I think you have to get at least 1,000 plays to get like 1 cent. 1,000 streams.
There's a website somewhere that does.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are different. Like Apple Music's probably one of the better payers out of the streaming platforms, but Spotify is one of the worst, or probably is the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why they're
YouTube's a whole
making the
lot
big
better.
bucks.
People do a lot of streams not getting paid on YouTube, so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you get a copyright claim like I do for my own music on my own YouTube channel.
Oh dear.
exactly.
It's topsy-turvy world.
Speaking of cool people, get new underwear, get a pension, get a family birthday, get another synth.
Tempted.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. Do you guys remember that? What was that show? It was like an auction sort of show, wasn't it? Where they showed, it was in the UK. They showed all this stuff. They'd go to like bargain hunt. That was it.
Now.
Bargain hunt.
No, but that there's not bargain hunt. That's
that's
another show he did.
That's the other show he does. Yeah,
Deal
but
or no
that's
deal?
where I remember it from. Deal or no deal. That's it. Deal or no deal. That's the
the
one.
one.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
not.
you-
It's not Deal or No Deal. It's not. That's a game
Okay.
show that on Channel 4.
Oh,
This-
okay.
This was on ITV. I forget what it's called.
If you
This is
remember
where
it,
people brought
jump in.
They used. Yeah.
You remember it, jump in.
Dickinson's Real
Resident.
Deal. That's what it's called.
Dickinson's real.
Dickinson's
That's
Real.
it. Yes, that's right. Dickinson.
Nothing
That's
wrong
the
with your
guy.
memory, mate.
Well done, Darren. I forgot his name.
Nice.
Babs is in the chat, and this is her meme. Maud Whelan, Frank says, "Look like we're out of money again." Well, that's all right. We have plenty of synths, and as we all know, synths will get you through times of no money better than money get you through times of no synths. And he's there playing the Oberheim OBX8.
Over.
That's a great one. And I love how he's got his hand in the sugar jar. That's so cool. Brilliant. Very well done. Very well done, I think.
Very nice. Yes.
And I think
And very
that's it.
colourful too.
I'm pretty sure that's it for memes. So, as we say each week, what was your favourite meme, people?
I quite like the last
Probably
one.
the last one.
Oh, definitely. The effort that's gone into the last one.
Yeah. I always like a little nugget of advice and philosophy in my memes.
Yeah. A little bit of a twist. Yeah. It's nice to have a little twist. Absolutely. Perfect for Black Friday. Yeah, I agree. Perfect. That's what she's saying in chat. Perfect for Black Friday. Yay. Last one. Some people are agreeing. That's good. Well, either that, perhaps, or they're too scared to say something else. I love it. No, just kidding. No competition. Absolutely. Good job. Right. We don't have a huge news week this week, so don't be disappointed. It's not my fault. I'm not the one making stuff. But we do have a massive announcement in news, so you won't be disappointed with that. Why has that come up?
That was last week's.
Yeah.
There
we go. Hey.
There we go.
I just have to hit the refresh button. Looks like it's some sort of caching going on in the background. Not sure. I haven't even. It's like my computer's turned off everything. Anyway, if you already know what this product is, this is another, what we call in Australia, another sack of the salve. That's what we call it. When you bring another product out of the same thing, spruce it up a bit with a paint job, and add some pretty lights and call it something else. But let's have a look what Arturia say about it anyway, because I'm not a cynic much. Well, that's it. People. That is it. Stop doing that. It is the black chromatic version of the Keystep Pro, if you're wondering what it is. And also, for those who do own a Keystep Pro, there's a firmware update for free. So you will get the benefits of this new product. The only thing, obviously, that you're not going to get is if you don't have the Chroma edition, you're not going to get the lighting features of the new firmware update. Other than that, couple of cool things I thought were in there, which I then thought to myself, why the F were they not in there in the first place? Which I thought was pretty interesting, like the transpose latch. So you can now latch the transpose, and then you can transpose across your different tracks. Which I thought, why did they not have that in there before? But maybe there were lots of people throwing their synths at Arturia in disgust, saying, when is this going to happen, people? But anyway, I had a look at the price. I still think, sorry Arturia, but I know this is your flagship mini synth controller. I mean, maybe it's the Australian dollar exchange rate, I'm not sure, but I think $574 US, I still feel a bit on the pricey side, personally. Because it is, at the end of the day, it is a controller, it is a sequencer, and it's a pretty damn good one. And you'd probably argue, well, what else can you get for the money? I think there's some competition, I do. But yeah, lovely to hear what you guys think anyway.
I have the original black one.
Yeah, I got the original black one too. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a bit pricey at first. I had to pay, I think, $50 more just for the black model from Japan. But the amount I've used this thing, and it allowed me to do all kinds of, here's a shot there.
Yep.
All the stuff it allowed me to do. I mean, it's only 4 tracks. That's probably my biggest gripe. So I have to use this with the Keystep Pro or something else to get more out of it for live stuff. But it's a hell of a lot more fun to use than the Korg 64-step job.
SQ64.
Yeah, that thing is is powerful, but it's really annoying to use sometimes. This is so much more immediate, and in some ways does more. And so I like this flow. The only problem I had with this thing and I'm curious about the new firmware. Is when I updated last time I updated the firmware, this thing got all weird, like buttons were locking up, and I was like, I gotta do a hardware jam. Like now I can't use it, so I basically had to factory reset it, and I've left it that way ever since. I haven't done any updates since then. So as long as the update's fine, that's the only concern I have.
I had that issue, Andy, on the old, just on the very basic Arturia Keystep, a small one. When I updated,
I have all of them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I haven't upgraded.
they're all pretty
mine.
good. I mean, I have the original one, and I have the Beatstep Pro, and I have
I think I did when I bought.
Yeah, I updated it, and it literally went all pear shaped. So I've reset it back to how it was, and I've never updated it since.
there you go. There's a theme here.
Or we'll wait for the Behringer Swing Pro, shall we?
Oh,
boy.
Aye.
Here's an interesting photo. I always like looking at marketing photos because I kind of think, when you're looking at these products and you're kind of seeing these photos, you're kind of dreaming a little bit. Oh, I wish I had Persian.
It looks nice in the dark.
And Robbie Piercelli's in the chat right now is thinking, look at those bloody cables going everywhere. Yuck.
Yes.
Eurorack module on the side, and I have no idea what that ribbed black cable going across is. That a headphone cable? There's a few kind of weirdnesses about that photo that just kind of got my OCD going a little bit. Kind of like you've got your Eurorack module on the side going that way, whilst your Keystep's going that way, and I'm like, this kind of going to be weird. Like your brain is literally going to be partitioning perpendicular to itself. While you're trying to work that, and then off to the side is your laptop. I do know a couple of people that have got these, and they actually use them both hardware standalone, and they also use them plugged into their computer. I'm kind of interested. Why would you? I mean, if you've got Ableton, you probably wouldn't need to use this plugged into your computer because you can just use a standard Keystep, right? You don't really need all the features. That will probably do the job. And they're like a quarter of the price, an eighth of the price probably even. You could probably pick one of those up pretty cheap.
Well, like you're talking about the transpose stuff, the function buttons layered in all these areas here. There's a screened in layers here for like
Hold it up.
You see there's a light blue color below all the buttons.
Yep.
And it does a ton of crazy functions on the fly. I don't use them that much. Also, these encoders, I've noticed occasionally jump if I start messing with them. So again, it could be the firmware thing I had. I haven't touched them since that firmware. But what's really cool is that you quickly want to go, I want to do 64 steps. I go whoop, scroll across here, right? And or if I just go back to 8 steps or whatever, so it's dynamically jump around with your steps, whether you have them added or not. And it's very immediate, and also all this beautiful plug-in stuff in the back.
Yeah.
So it's got MIDI. I actually use this as a MIDI controller to my modular, and then I use Mutant Brains to CV everything out. I rarely use the CV direct out anymore. I just have a clock in coming. I have Pam's going into the clock in on this thing, and there's the master clock, and no problems at all. It's great. Excellent. Yeah. And the only thing in the price range is like the Oki controller, Oki something or other. I forgot what it's called. It was a Kickstarter thing. That I know that I think Steve Ward has one. The other people have them.
Oh, the Oxy.
And it's like
Oxy.
Oxy, that's it. Yeah. And it's like $700, $800, and they're not cheap. So they're more expensive. Cheap. They may have more tracks, but it's basically a fancy Beatstep Pro.
It's quite boutique though.
It is boutique. Yeah,
it's a small company. Yeah, overheads.
Yeah. I think that there's a few more bells and whistles in it than what we're saying too.
Yeah,
so.
it's
probably
it's a bit.
Yeah, they probably are because they got to justify the price somehow, but. So I don't think 500 something is that much for this thing when it's so immediate and easy to use,
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't have if you don't have a BeatStep Pro,
Mm.
if you've got a Keystep already and you've got a BeatStep Pro, I kind of feel like those two together, like that product there, if you've got one of these already, and
that's me, mate.
and you've got one of these, you kind of probably
that's
don't
exactly
need to get a Keystep Pro, because that will there's probably stuff that these two combine.
Well, you get
maybe
direct
not have.
access to you get direct access to every step because it's an encoder for every 16.
Well, that's why I started with those, and then I got this other one later because this actually is 4 tracks. That's only 3 tracks.
Well, technically it's 4
you need that extra track sometimes.
because your Keystep's got a track as well. So technically it's 4. If you have
It
the
is,
two.
but I mean, it's not a sequence.
Melodic, yes.
Well, you'd have to hook the sequencer up to the
And then the other option is to use if you've got. I mean, this is pretty pricey though compared to what we're talking. I mean, we got these for cheap when they were on sale. In fact, actually, they're on sale again now. They're actually on sale again now. So I do want to talk. No, there's 2 different Korgs. There's a Korg
I know.
Australia,
Yes.
which is called CMI or something. Yeah, and then there's Korg
I
US.
thought there's 2 different Korgs. One Korg that makes the decent stuff, and then another Korg.
Yes, we got. Yeah, we have visibility on 3 parallel Korg units.
Trust with you guys watching. Like, I honestly think if you're sitting there and you've already got a Keystep and you've got a BeatStep Pro, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, geez, I'll tell you what, that new Chroma edition, the black, that chick with the fistnet stockings and the modular going perpendicular, it's really got me hitting the buy now button." I'd probably hold off personally. Just saying, your Black Friday sales have been and gone, right? I'm doing this to help Darren.
Black Friday, by the way. To me, there was nothing. I've got the Keystep Pro and the BeatStep Pro.
There you go.
But I've also got a few other bits as well. But did anyone get anything Black Friday? Anyone? Even the chatties?
Very little.
I never see anything that's Black Friday that 1 I can afford and 2 is what I want.
Well, that was that meme
hardware.
that we showed a couple of weeks ago, where we showed how we showed the price. You know, it was I think it was $6.99, and then Black Friday sale. It was from $8.99 with a line through it, $6.99 on sale on Black Friday, and everyone's like, "It's the same price you had a week ago, you stupid." And there was quite a few businesses doing that, and I thought, wow, not just in synth world, in all the world.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, you guys are really, you're taking this. And the whole purpose of Black Friday is actually, it's kind of an extension of Thanksgiving. It's an American thing, and we should respect it, because Thanksgiving in America is actually a big occasion where you're supposed to give thanks to your family and to the world, to being lucky to have to have the things that you've got. And the reason why they had Black Friday is because all the stores had stock left over, and usually
it's inventory clearance.
It's because they had all this stock for Thanksgiving, and they need to get rid of it. And it's usually to do with food because it's perishable, right? It's not synths and stuff like that. But as you know, all the retailers jump on, just like how you see in October Christmas decorations coming out in shops, which is just getting really stupid.
You can go to September now.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, you guys don't have Thanksgiving, so you go right to Christmas, right? We at least have Thanksgiving for a little bit, and then the Christmas stuff comes out.
We have a little holiday in October in our country, which is, depending on what state you're in, it's either going to be Labor Day, or in our state it's called I think it's
WA Day?
The King's birthday, isn't it?
King's birthday.
It's the King's birthday. So we have that in October, but that's the only break we get from, what was the last one? June. So June is, but don't forget, our seasons are the reverse to yours. So we're heading into summer. You guys are heading into winter.
Everything's reversed. The Coriolis for us, the whole thing. So
the toilet flushes the run.
That's right. I actually tested that when I went to, because I'd never seen it when I went to Brazil. And I said, I got to see this. I put some dye in the sink, and I watched the sink go down the wrong way. Hey,
in Panama. Have you seen them flush a toilet in Panama?
No.
It does. It doesn't do it. It just goes straight down.
Yeah, that's funny.
It is. It's kind of weird. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
Right. But back to the Keystep thing real quick. Between that and this, I mean, these are like game changers, right?
Absolutely.
Anyone doing live stuff, all this stuff, really performing and not just doing dots in a DAW all the time. They're, for me, there's game changers. And I'm not I'm not a great player. I'm not an influencer. I'm not getting anything for free. I have to buy all this shit. And
exactly.
For me, these are great. Really great instruments and tools.
Azio Heads asked in the chat, are the knobs on the synths reversed in Aussie land? Mate, we actually, I've told you guys this before. I mean, we've had to flip our cameras around so that you guys feel comfortable looking at us, because normally we would actually be upside down. So if you're worried about it, normally we'd kind of look something like, I don't know if I can do it. Can I do it?
Well, so on a funny side note, that's why the flat Earth guys get all freaked out. They go, if you can't be upside down, you would fall off. If you're upside down, you would fall off the planet.
So I just saw
Ranzee.
Late to the party.
In fact,
That's it. He's up there.
I'm going to leave.
There.
You should have come in like that. Yeah.
I'll help you, Rant. I'll help you come down.
Hang on. I'll just look at that. We go fixed it.
Oh,
right. Jeez, I've been playing around with the software too much. We have got some news, and it's from Mr. Chris. So I'm gonna. Do I need to? Yes, I do. I need to get something prepared for him.
Probably should.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'll get angry. He'll throw his synths at the screen and
throw modules at the screen. Gave it away.
Right. Give me 1 sec. I've just prepared it. And
okay. Should I introduce first? Or should I?
No, we are going to chuck it in the news section, and then we're going to hit refresh. Where's my news? Refresh. Here we go. And then we go back to here, and then we go bang.
Aha. That looks familiar. Yes. I should have put Maikshift Modular on that flyer somewhere. Jesus, I'm such a newbie. Yes. I complete with spelling errors. I so did this in a rush, I have to admit. But the module has not been done in a rush. This is my next module, which is called the TARGent. And don't worry if you forget that tomorrow. It took me a couple of weeks to start to remember it as well.
Targ for short.
But Targ, the good old Targ. I have to admit, I did. As you can see, I did use the letters of the functions of the unit to create the name, so it isn't just a name I made up. Yes, this is a triple attack, release, and gate envelope generator, 6 HP module. It has long and short switches on it, so a different range. The first envelope generator has a built-in attenuator. Well, you can read it all there, but basically, it's an analog module. So this is different from my last module, which was mainly digital. But this one has a bit of a twist. As well as being an analog module, it has a special digital connector on the back, which augments the functionality of the module. And the coolest thing about the augmentation is I haven't yet figured out exactly what all the different things will be. So this is a bit of an experiment, but I have some pretty cool, what I think are pretty cool ideas floating around in my head. And the idea will be that you can buy this module plain vanilla at a lower price if you just needed some extra envelope generators and a fairly compact HP. Or you could get into some of the more advanced features, such as the ability to chain some of those modules. So you could put 2 of these together and get all 6 envelopes running off the same gate, for example. Because that's one of the things I haven't mentioned here is that of course, the inputs are normal to the input to the right. It's a pretty typical way of doing it, but it's very, very handy to just be able to feed one gate in on the left and get all 3 gates going. I find it very handy to send one, do a classic synth kind of mono voice where you've got one envelope doing your amplitude, another envelope doing your filter, and then you can do something like the third envelope doing like a wave shaper, which can be quite fun. It's got potentiometers, trim pots on the back, which allow you to tweak it's kind of an attack. It's not exactly an attack time, it's more of an attack level. It's a bit of a something I put on originally, and mainly because I was interested in finding out what would be the best interface for whatever signals I was plugging into it. Because sometimes you get gate signals that are a bit weak, sometimes they're a bit strong, and you get slightly different response from this particular circuit. So the trim pots are there for that, so you can match it with whatever gate signals you're getting out. They are on the back though, so you do have to access them from the rear, but they are the kind of thing you probably set and forget. It's a bit of a quirky module in its visual design because it can be orientated vertically or horizontally. The reason why I have a horizontal style in this module is because that's actually the way I like to use it. I have to point out though that it is not 1U compatible completely 100%. It requires sort of it takes the same space as 1U, but it doesn't physically fit in a traditional IntelliGel style 1U rack. So that's something I need to be clear about, and certainly will have to be clear about when I start selling.
Real quick, is that
modules.
4U?
It is 6U.
4 HP? Sorry, 4 HP.
No, it's 6 HP.
6 HP, sorry.
Yeah, it's
But
6
they
HP.
have those adapters I use that take a 4 HP and turn it sideways for 1U.
Yeah, and if it was 4 HP,
those.
yeah, if it was 4 HP, it would fit in an IntelliGel format, but because the space between the rails is below the 6 HP, that in fact, Rant, would it be a good time to cut? Because
Oh no!
this is we're back.
Copy.
Yep, we're back.
This exists. This is
Obviously,
the module.
because you're holding it.
Exactly, yes. This is the module. Obviously, I need to focus the camera so that you can see it properly. Oh. Actually, I probably should have just left it where I was. Yep, anyway, with its nice purple knobs, which I think are going to be... I like them. Put them. Oh, why don't I put it the right way around?
Oh, mate, all the electrons just fell out.
I know. Well, it's not completely soldered yet, so they'll be fine. They only go so far and then they stop.
Yeah, okay,
Everyone
good.
knows that. Don't you know anything about electronics, Ransom?
No.
Anyway, so that's what it looks like. You can play it that way, or as I like to do, I like putting it in that way. Yep. So
if you do it,
it's a two board.
If you do it that way, horizontal, is it the same as a 1U?
It is the same height as a 1U.
Nice.
So it physically fits in the same space, but because of the IntelliGel format, requires 2 rails. So what you could do, and this I have to do some more exploration on this just to see what other options are available, because I can do cool things like 3D print some adapters or something, which could make it work. I think you'd have to remove the top rail, and then you could actually fit this in, I think. So I need to do a bit more experiment, but there are also other 1U formats that I can look at as well, which I haven't explored.
I bought a Pulp Logic thing once because I wanted to see how off it was from the IntelliGel 1U, and it's slightly taller than the IntelliGel one, and I was still able to kind of wedge it in there and screw in my knurlies, and kind of, it's not pretty, but it is possible to make it work, even if it's the wrong format.
They're probably a bit too close then.
Yeah, I think Ornament and Chrome guys are big on, the rotatable modules as well.
Yeah.
Sorry about my wrist cracking in the microphone just then.
Yeah, it is one of those things where when I designed it, there had to be some, design parameters that, had to move and some that didn't. So on this module, it's really important to get the spacing on the knobs better, because the prototype that I've been using for quite a few years now, actually, you've actually been hearing it. It's been in all of my GP82 demos. So that's that envelope generator that you've been hearing. The knobs are just a little bit too close to the cables, and they foul on your fingers. It's a basic ergonomic thing. So this one, I had to spread it more out, and that gave me more opportunity, obviously, to have a bit more fun with the design of the graphics. So yeah,
because I have a bunch of that 2 HP stuff, and you put it too close together, and you're just like, just kind of squeeze in there.
Even I've got in the current prototype, I've got the tendrils. You'd know the tendrils, don't you? The right angle ones. I've got them right here. I've got a rack here. The tendrils. Even that it still gets in the way. So I had to.
And tendrils can often fight because they also take a certain amount of space.
Yeah,
each other and
routing can be also an issue, neatness and that kind of stuff. So it had to slightly change shape, but I'm happy with the results. It also made the circuitry layout nicer. The module's not as deep as it could have been. It's a lot of advantages when you spread the panel out. So I've broken through the barrier of 4 HP.
Now I didn't know about this either. So you guys are finding out the same day as me. So he's keeping all this stuff pretty quiet. Yeah, for me it's interesting. I kind of feel like I don't know, like one of the things I've always scratched my arm in, because an ARP Odyssey or an ARP 2600 has an AR EG on it, and I've always wondered, like, when you don't have the not so much the decay but the sustain, because the sustain on the ADSR is kind of like the amplitude of your envelope generator. In some cases that can actually kind of, if you're working in eurorack, that can actually overdrive things because of the way it puts control voltage in, and when you have an AR envelope generator, you don't get that that sustain. It's literally just an attack and a release. So what I've always wondered is, with an AR, obviously it's set electronically, but the rise and the fall, there's obviously a point where it gets to the top. Is that literally just from 0 to 10 volts or 0 to 5 volts? Is that kind of what it is, or can you set that?
No, you can't. This particular design, you can't actually set a different level, because then there would be an attack kind of slope release, wouldn't it? Because you'd have a slope to get from the attack portion ending to the beginning of the release portion of the envelope.
Well, the attack the attack is time and the release is time, right?
Yeah.
So there's an amplitude that's missing in that sense.
Yeah, and this one has on the first unit, you have that attenuator, which basically attenuates the whole envelope, which effectively gives you a control over the max level. So that's when your attack portion is finished, the maximum level is set by that knob. When you release it, releases from that point. And you can do the same thing with passive attenuators even. So basically, and the trim pots allow you to adjust the sort of in a more sort of primitive way. It's slightly different. It's a subtle circuitry difference, but it sort of effectively works out the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can adjust also what your maximum, if you don't want 10 volts all the time, because you're always using maybe 5 volts because of what you're interfacing to, you can actually adjust the trim points so that it always hits there. And as I said, you might have a situation where your trigger signals aren't working, they're not oomping enough the envelope, and you wish you had a bit more overdrive. Well, without having to put it through something that fed it harder into your envelope generator, you can adjust these trim bots as well to overdrive that and then boost that level a bit more. So it's kind of it's quality of life, kind of, adaptability to different systems kind of idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is a pretty simple envelope generator circuit. This is not we're not talking about the all singing, dancing digital envelope generator with 20 stages and different slopes and that kind of stuff, which is something I know that would interest you, Rance. And that is, I do have notes in my notebook about something like that. I would very much like to do one of those one day, but this is very much one of those.
You've got the Peaks, right? So Peaks is a dual ADSR, which also can be a dual AR as well. So the algorithms are there, but the thing with Peaks is they're digital in a sense, right? So I'm not really sure, but so yours is digital too, right?
No, it's analog, completely 100%
analog.
analog. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the digital portion is the portion I've added. So you can
Right,
sort of see.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see this is basically a marriage of me before I came on this stream and after.
Right.
So it's two different parts of my life. So there's the analog world, which is where I sort of developed this stuff, and then the digital stuff is really what I've been encouraged to do by good people such as yourself, giving me great ideas, and lots of people out there in the community, which is adding the digital ideas. So this is going to be a marriage of the two.
Let's just go back to the graphic again, just so we've got it. Why is that closing on me? Go there. Here we go.
Yeah.
I have a weird mouse clicking problem at the moment, where it clicks and then it just disappears, and I'm not sure what's going on. Probably a virus. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, so we've got each channel has a long short switch, so that you can have snappy envelopes, or you can have your standard longer envelopes. You've got an indicator LED gate input and envelope out for each. Yeah, you can see that. And then you've got the rear trim pot that adjusts the input gate. So that's the amplitude thing I was really sort of talking about there. So that that's a standard across all three. Okay.
It's a pot for each one.
So
you can set them up differently. Yeah, so you can set up one envelope for one sort of way of working and the others at a different level.
Yeah. Maybe that might be cool if you could access them from the front through a hole.
I know.
Because I know that Henrik will probably be asking that.
Yes. Yes. No, that's fair enough. It's wasn't possible to achieve in this design. It would have required me probably going to 8 HP.
And you have to redo
or there are other things you can do. You can get special types of trim pots that you can access through the rear of the board. You have to drill a hole through the board, but it does get it is something I considered, but I decided that this particular version of it was the time to release a new module is now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So I thought rather have people have something that's useful, because for me it's really useful. It's been really useful in my setup, having 3 envelopes that I can get access to.
What do you use to lay out your boards? What software do you use?
Sorry? Oh, lay out on boards. I'm just using KiCad.
KiCad.
Yep, KiCad. And for the graphics, I use a combination of KiCad and Inkscape and a bit of PaintShop Pro. Yep.
Fantastic.
I'm not so much a graphic designer. That's a skill that I'm enjoying learning, actually.
While we're at it, I thought we might check on Bonnie the dog to see whether she's enjoying the show and, alertly listening to everything going on. Yep, she's fast asleep. Hopefully you're... I'm just joking, Chris. It's not you.
I think he's dreaming about something.
Yeah, she was before. She was snoring before.
Dreaming about a 3-envelope generator.
That's it, mate. That's it. Definitely, the questions are coming through in the chat. Ooh, I can see a few of them. Is there a release date from Keith and Watford? That's a good question. And
next, obviously, I would say next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Pretty
Keith,
safe.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Approximate price says X101.
I'm hoping to make it around the same price as GP82 or possibly less, because
which is...
in the standard configuration, it's pretty straightforward.
About
modules,
150 US, is it?
Something like that. Yeah, 220 something.
229
Australian. Yeah, would be the retail.
What are we
of course, there's always there will be an introductory price. Of course.
Mate, I was on the money. 150 US. Exactly.
Well done,
yeah, done.
But we'll see. I have to do all the costings and stuff. But this module feels like it's a bit less expensive, shall we say, than the GP82 because of the components used.
What do you guys think? Not you, Chris.
Of software.
But what do you guys think of the price of the GP82? Just while we're at it, I mean, it's about $150 US. There's a 10% discount at the moment on that. So how do you feel? Like, so if you, just a caveat there, if you do buy the GP82, you know that you're going to, well, you don't need to, but you most likely want to have that Behringer 182 sequencer, because it's really a companion module, or that's its main feature. But if you don't, you might already have the Behringer 960, which is the Moog sequencer, as you know, that works with that, and it potentially works with other things like you were saying the Keystep Pro maybe. So on its own, it probably may have some usefulness as well. But when you think about it,
I bought the Behringer sequencer just to test this thing, and it was a great purchase because I'm having a lot of fun with it. So
it is great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
when you think about it, like if you were to buy, and this is more for Chris's promotion than anything, but if you were to buy like a Metropolix from Intelligel, Andy, what are they at the moment? Those Metropolix, they're kind of, are they about $700 US, something like that?
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Mind you, it is dual. It is a dual sequencer, but the Metropolis,
they're great, but they're just expensive.
Yeah, but that's basically what you're getting, minus a few bells and whistles. But that's basically what you're getting for much, much, much less. So I think the 182 module itself from Behringer is probably around the $90 US mark, maybe $100 US, somewhere around there. So all up to you're looking at maybe $250 US, and you'd have pretty close to like a Metropolis, not Metropolix, but a Metropolis, close to it anyway. Without it, I mean, honestly, I use, Darren, you've got a Metropolis as well. I use the Metropolis, but I don't use half the bells and whistle features in it. So, I just use the 185 sequencer features in it, basically. That's what I use.
Well, I was telling Chris too, I bought the depth for ratcheting module just so I could make my depth for dark time ratchet, because for some stupid reason they said this is a Tangerine Dream sequencer. Oh, but it doesn't ratchet. Like, gee, thanks. So it's not really a Tangerine Dream sequencer, right?
Yeah.
So I had to pay an additional, and the dark time is a nice little module, so it doesn't need to go into eurorack, although you can if you want to. So then I had to buy the eurorack module just to interface with it to make it so it's not a cohesive unit. And it's the ratchet module's not cheap, and that's kind of all it does. So that's why Chris's module, because he's giving you more than that for a similar price. So it's kind of a no-brainer. If you guys are on the fence, just definitely get it.
Thanks, man. That's kind words.
I'm just being truthful.
But yeah, that was the idea anyway, was to give the maximum amount of features for the smallest amount of.
Because you have like the
HP.
Bernoulli gate stuff on there, and I mean it's fun.
Yep. Now, if you guys are wanting to check out all the kind of the things, I think was it the Sea-Legs show that we did? I think it was on the Sea-Legs show that we did most. It was
on the Sea-Legs show.
Yeah.
There's also a link on my Etsy page to your stream rants. That particular one. Yeah. It's a cut and paste affair, of course, because Etsy don't let you post links to other websites, as you all know. So, use at your discretion, but it is on there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. That's really good and exciting to see the new module come out. Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah. Could you post the link again of the Etsy store? Someone in the chat asked.
I can do it.
Obviously.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, cheers, man.
It's right here.
Cheers, man. I can't post links, so it's pretty easy to remember that once you type in Maikshift Modular and then add .com, it's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Cheers, man. That's the direct. Yeah, that's the direct link. Yeah, you can also get there via the method I said. Yep.
Yeah. So comments in the chat, they're all saying it's a pretty good price. Sorry, Darren, you go.
Oh, good.
I was just going to say on the pricing. I think anything below £200 is a decent deal, because it's like that £200 mark is where sort of people might just switch off slightly. If you're looking for small or fairly decent modules, as soon as it starts creeping over £200, then it's like more of a thinking time. Whereas anything under that, it seems to be like, oh, it's only 165 or it's 150. I know it sounds a lot, but you know what I mean. It just sounds, when it's under that £200 mark, because I think let's keep it. It's about 150, is it? 160, 150, 160, something like that. I'm not sure. GP82. Oh yeah, Keith's put to the UK
155.
155. See, that's
So 229.
That's
What is the exchange rate?
that's perfect.
Oh, cool. That's thanks for the feedback, Darren. It's useful, very useful.
Yeah.
I'm getting
I'm
£120 on the exchange rate.
And it's probably to do with.
And if you
probably
take the
to do with
discount,
UK shipping and
206.
getting it in.
Yeah.
206 is if with the 10% discount, it's only £108. So it's only just a bit over £100 at the moment.
Yeah,
obviously the shipping.
How much it is to get it into the country?
You gotta honestly, you gotta look at the shipping, right? As you can't really look at that as part of the purchase price because when you're wanting to move it on, say you wanted to move it on, 50 years in the future. I'm just kidding. You don't want to move his models on, but any synth gear, we're just talking about in general, right? When you're moving the synth gear on, you can't move that product on with the postage price that you paid for it. So that postage price is basically, it's almost like a tax for you to get that, so you don't have to drive or fly to Australia and pick it up yourself.
Yeah, we forget as well how many millions of miles these things travel to get to us and from one place to another place. It's one of those things you kind of forget it when we're all so digitally connected now. But every time I purchase something from an overseas seller, I'm always reminded of our location here on the globe, as you all would know, Rance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing to note.
That's what I mean.
Postage is a bit
even why it's
nasty
even
from
better
Australia.
price.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
But I mean, even if you do take that into consideration, so you still say, I know it's cheaper than 150, but say to get it into the country it's 160. It's still that price where you just go, because when I'm not using my modular for a while. I've been, it's just at the side of me. But when when you first started off and I was looking for modules that I really wanted, it was like I was always looking for something under 200 quid because it's just that it doesn't seem a lot compared to anything when it starts booming above £200. It sort of feels, I'll get that. That's not an issue. So I think it's all right. I mean, obviously, if the modulars get more complicated and they have to go over it, that's fair enough. But you know what I mean? For looking at, I think Div Kids was about 110 at the time, and that was another one that I purchased because it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's a good module too.
And yours are the same now.
Which one? The Div Kid, the Mute one, or the Aux
one.
8.
I think it's gone up since.
Running oscillators.
Since I got it. Yeah.
LFO, sorry. Yeah. I forgot to mention it. I got a kit of a similar kind of idea of I think it's only 4 free running oscillator LFOs, which I've got to build sometime. After I've built unless I'm too busy building GP82s.
Yeah, but that's good.
That's good, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I will be happy. It'll be double-edged sword, but I'll be happy that I don't have time to build any of my own projects.
Chris, once you've built quite a few and you've sold quite a few because they'll go off like hotcakes, after about 6 months of doing it, you'll be able to do a special edition, like a noir version. Mm-hmm. Same thing.
Oh, a noir, I see.
Chroma version.
Just a different colour. Yeah, a chroma version. And then...
it's funny you should mention that because I've always had the idea that maybe it would be worth doing a grey faceplate version of the GP82, which would then match visually with the 182.
Yeah.
So try and follow the same styling. I haven't priced it, but I have sourced a company that does PCBs in that exact colour. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Are you guys fans of the Apollo space program at all?
Yeah.
The LIM computer or whatever it is, I've forgotten what it's because that grey faceplate. Yeah. The LIM, the faceplate. A couple of guys were doing a project where they were reproducing the whole panels for all of the Apollo space computers, and I found that post, saw that the colour was exactly the same. No coincidence, probably.
That grey looks to me. That grey looks to me like. Did you guys ever do model painting when you were younger? You know, you used to get those
A little bit.
models and used to glue them together and have to paint them and stuff. That looks
They
like the
huff the
standard.
fumes, right? So
That looked like the standard grey that you had for most of them. Like it was like a mid-tone grey. That's what it looked like to me. And I would not be surprised if you went to a hobby shop and said, right, I'm building a battleship. What's the standard grey? And they go, and they give it a little tiny little tin.
It's
I bet
probably
you
called
it's
Battleship
that-
Grey, isn't it?
Probably called battleship.
have you seen
grey.
new cards
I'm
with that
sure-
color
I'm sure
now?
it's
There's
called
like a
Battleship.
primer color.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a
Mm.
primer
It's this
color.
weird primer color. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I have a can of it
We've had
down
them
the
for
shed.
2 years.
Yeah, but
It's called Edge
like
Primer.
a $50,000 card. It looks like it's primer. You know, glossy primer.
Oh, those ones, yeah. They're sort
Oh
of
man,
matte.
it's just
Yeah.
it's
That
a new
kind of
color
matte.
scheme. It's some
We've
kind
got
of
them
blue
for
gray.
ages, BMWs, Audis.
Oh yeah, they're really popular, aren't
I
they?
hate it. I hate that color.
Yeah, it looks like it's not finished.
Yeah.
Somebody
So would that be a
stole it from
limited retro look then?
Is it that color,
yeah.
maybe?
So I don't
that
know.
color grey?
Maybe that looks a bit too silvery to me. But yeah, I
You need
see
to make
what
an
you
all
mean.
purple edition for Rave Dave.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
a couple of people in the
that-
chat have
Yeah.
couple of people in the chat have said a thumbs up to the grey faceplate idea, so I'll consider it.
Yeah. 50 Shades
We'll
of
see how
Yellow,
we'll see how the module goes.
Easy peasy. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it for news. There was actually there was literally nothing except obviously.
Why am I getting an
Chris's
advert
news
in the
is
middle of your
amazing.
show, Rans?
What's that?
Oh dear, mid-roll
I'm getting an
advert.
advert for a mid-roll advert for Roland.
know how you're
keyboards
getting
in
it.
the middle of your show.
I'm not
Yeah,
getting it.
Oh,
just
have I
pops up now on my
accidentally-
iPad.
Maybe I've accidentally left monetization on.
Yeah, I don't have any.
All right, I just wondered what it was.
Well,
I thought
you
I
know,
had put Roland keyboards on. What's going on?
I make absolutely sweet fuck all on this stream, so let the ad play, please, because I need some money. Seriously.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, but it's all-
Fans? Get out on Spotify.
I'm not getting any money on that either.
You'll owe me if it was going over the top of one of my promotional segments, though.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, take it out with YouTube. Don't take it out with me. I've got no control over this shit.
Just as you hold your module up there,
think-
Chris, and you get an advert
Yeah.
for some Roland keyboards.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you guys earlier that I'm not joking. I got a copyright claim against my own music that I played at the start of last week's stream. This is the artist channel. So if you look at my channel, it's got the little music symbol on it. It's this is the artist channel. I am the artist. I wrote that music. I'm playing it on my channel. I got a copyright claim for my own music. This is where
The algorithm's broken. It
seriously,
sucks. So
I'm
out
just
of
about to go
control.
tap. I'm out. I'm out of here. This is just bullshit.
I'm not
This is
surprised.
like that you're getting claimed copyright for your own shit. It's like, what are you guys doing?
They're
It's
still
really
treating it like
stupid.
it's a nuisance, but it's more than a nuisance, isn't it?
It's just
I
lazy.
have to
They
sit
haven't
there and I have
upgraded
to
it.
fill out.
Just-
I had to fill out an appeal because the claim, what do you call it? The first one that you do, it failed. It I got an email. It says that Orchard Records are upholding their decision that they believe that the copyright is theirs. Well, like fuck, it is. It's not you. You don't own
basically
copyright to that
claim
music.
Yeah, they're basically Orchard.
You have a
basically
license
claim
to play
everything.
it for me, but you don't have a copyright on it.
Yeah,
Read
This is
the
why I
terms
was
and
using,
conditions.
with
Still
Hendrik's
a
permission, I was
lot.
using his music on some of my micro streams and stuff, and I got one of my streams killed because of it.
Mm.
So, or at least temporarily killed. So I'm like, you know what? I as much as I want to use it, I'm not going to risk my streams getting screwed
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah.
it's like you can't use anything recorded now. Like you literally have to only do
But
live
it's-
stuff. I mean,
But
that's part
it's
of the
my
reason
music. I recorded it. It's
yeah.
mine.
It's
If
you know,
I want to play
effectively you've lost control of your own copyright. That's what they're doing. They're stepping into that space, taking temporary ownership of your
They're not going
copyright
to win.
and using it against you.
Well,
They are
if
not
we
gonna
learned
win.
anything, that February filter sweep thing, where basically it was misidentifying everything, right? Like I got a Kid Rock claim. My stuff sounded
Yeah.
nothing like Kid Rock.
Yeah, Kid
Yeah.
Rock. I mean, I got one of those.
I
Well,
mean-
it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was.
Their system is broken. It sucks.
The algorithm's buggy, but it's really buggy.
They're lazy. They won't
Well,
fix
it's not that it's buggy. It's that it's open for incorrect
Exploitation.
exploitation, manipulation. Yeah.
Exploitation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Digital frontier, baby.
That's it, Steve. You've got it in one, mate. You'll own nothing and love it, and sit there and zip it. If you say anything wrong, we'll come into your house and execute you. Yeah. It's like, what is it? 1984. Is that's the book, isn't it?
Yep.
Where they all ran out of razor
George
blades.
Orwell. Yep.
The world ran out of razor blades. That's basically we've run out of our own rights. Yeah.
Well, in some parts of the world, 84 is right because you guys have cameras everywhere, right? You're being monitored 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big part
the
of
UK is
1984.
really bad for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're one of the. I'd say we're one of the most cameraed places. I think South Korea might be more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure, but I mean, other than this inside the studio, there's hardly any cameras around where I live. So,
talking of that, they've just stuck another 2 up just down the road from me. I thought I can literally drive about 2 miles before I'm cameraed on anything.
Yeah.
There was
Babs. The worst is that if you don't have enough subscribers, they can monetize and run ads on your original copyrighted material. Exactly.
God. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, like when I first started YouTube, like I was popping out videos pretty regularly to sort of grow the subscriber numbers. It took a long time. Like it was, I remember when I was like 100 subscribers and I was thinking, I made the first milestone. I can do something stupid like whatever it was.
Change the channel name, I think.
Yeah. And then you got to 1,000 subscribers and you could monetize or something. It was like, it's ridiculous. And you see, like, honestly, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You go to some YouTube channels and they're just complete numpty channels, like about absolute complete BS. And the way that they've got that 1 million subscribers is probably all completely illegitimate. It just makes you laugh. If you're trying to play the game the right way, it's yeah. Anyway,
It's best not to even bother. I mean, I was getting adverts on mine, but I mean, God, I've not even got that many subscribers, and it's like, God, I'm even having adverts on my 4-minute tune.
Next week, I'll make sure I turn the ads off. I don't know why, but every single time I start the stream, I have to manually turn ads off, and I know that that's YouTube being a pain in the ass.
I'm sure it's just a technical glitch.
Yeah.
No, they even if you don't have, if you're not monetized, you'll still get ads. They started doing that about a year ago.
Right. Well, there you go.
Any channel with 1 subscriber, they'll just add an ad to it.
I've got this new thing up the top, across the top here, where your studio thing, and it's literally got $signs, right? It's not my $signs, it's their $signs. I don't know why they're making it look like I'm going to make money out of this. I'm making a cent, 0.1.
They're happy and making more money.
I can click this button and I can literally insert an ad.
They're literally dangling a $sign in front of your eyes, Rance.
This is
what they're doing. They're saying,
I've shown you guys my revenue not that long ago. I showed you it. Like, it is, any person who has like a proper brain in their head, because obviously I don't, would not do what I do. They would not do it. They just would think, okay, I can literally go work at a supermarket packing shelves. Darren, you could go down to, Sainsbury's, or do they still exist? Sainsbury's.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you could literally go down to Sainsbury's.
I can do that now. What you on about? I can do that now. I'm wearing more than I'm earning.
And put $4. Put 4 hours in down there, and you'd earn more than what you'd make in a month on YouTube. So you got to look at it.
Basically, be
Maybe a couple of years.
You could be a Turkish millionaire. They used to do jokes about that. So, I'm a Turkish millionaire. It's like $2.
Yeah, because of the currency. Yeah, so I'm a
the lira.
Zimbabwean billionaire.
Sounds like a Borat joke.
Yeah, Borat joke. Let's do some price watching, because I have a feeling you guys might like this one. There's definitely some interesting.
I sent you one in the chat too, Ranzee, if you wanted to do that.
What's that? Sorry.
The private chat. I sent you one as well.
We may not need to get there, but
That's fine.
I need
Speaking
to refresh.
of grey,
It's one of Kent's famous favorite machines. So that's why.
Grey, yes. There we
There
go.
we go. Sorry, that was another refresh issue, people. Sorry, apologise for that. I put this one in because Brooksy sometimes watches the show. We miss you, Brooksy. But yeah, Pro 1, he's got a Pro 1. This is a live auction. I love that word. Say it like Sean Connery, auction. Where you can get a Sequential Circuits Pro 1 in beautiful shape with a new key bed. That might even be... No, it's in California. It's in Anaheim. There you go. Just down the road from Disneyland.
Just bananas.
Beautiful, yeah. There it is, live auction. Let's have a looky. Let's open this up. What do we got? Could you not have found a better place to take photos next to a drain? What the hell?
It's for scale. It's so you can see how big it is compared to the drain.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not one of those drain pipes in public.
For a second, I thought it was a shower recessed drain. I thought, now that is terrible.
It looks like an elevated parking lot. It's a garage of some kind.
Yep.
Oh, he swept it though. The broom's still
Probably been pulled straight out of the garage.
That looks like it's been photographed on carpet.
That does, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
Because if that's on concrete.
All right. So Pro 1, what do you guys think of the price? Did you see the price? It was $1,600 US. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how much is the Behringer? The Behringer's, I don't know.
400, 300?
300 US, 200 US.
Yeah.
Do you think that any of these are starting to become a little bit when people are like, oh, I want to get a vintage one. Oh, I don't need one really. I can get the Behringer one for like a gazillionth, the 16th of the price. Yeah.
Well,
do you think
there
that
still seems to be? I think it's less and less buyers of that kind of stuff, but they're still out there. I reckon. I mean, some people.
Maybe someone who always wanted
be...
one, or someone else to replace one, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
There are going to be some subtle differences too. I will give you that too.
And you get a
but it
keyboard
may not be.
That's nice.
A keyboard, yeah, but it may not be as subtle as you need. You might just think, well, I've got a Behringer Pro 1 sitting over there, and I've been very happy with it. And I think Brooksy was saying that he was really happy with his as well. So he actually has the original and the Behringer one, and he was quite happy with both. Yeah. But 1,600, I'm kind of starting to feel like 1,600 is a bit over. You know, that might be what they used to fetch, but I don't know. Maybe someone might pay for it. Let us know in the chat what you think. Would you pay 1,600 for a Pro 1? I mean, it was in pretty decent nick. Let us know what you think. Like I said, these are all going to be none of these are scammy this week, I'm afraid. But wait till the end because I have a deal of the week. Whoa, that's a new thing. Deal of the week.
Ranzee's deal of the week.
I don't want that one. I want
Not deal of the week.
Deal of the week, right there.
There you go, deal of the week. That. And how do I go next? Next. There we go. Yamaha CS20M. These are kind of cool. I just like the way I love that logo. That logo looks awesome. This is also live. Let's go to live. That 20M logo. I just love that. That there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
I'm making a note for doing my artwork in future rants. Rants likes
lean a logo on an angle. Yeah, do that. This is 1970s though. If you hadn't gathered, with how wide are those wood grain sides? Well, let's say wood veneer sides.
Oh, when?
Yeah. Almost as wide as the actual synth panel itself. Two VCOs.
I had a chance to get a CS40M that got away. I was really bummed about that. It's way better than this, and I could have gotten it for like $800.
One thing that is good about these, though, if you do get your hands on one, is the programmable memory, which I thought was actually kind of a cool thing. Yeah. Right. Wow. For the day, and apparently the keyboard on this is really, really nice as well. But
the tape back up,
really good condition.
The tape back up, yeah. For a mono synth, this has got quite a lot of features. Like, you know, you've got two VCOs, but then it's got two envelope generators, one for the filter and one for the VCA. It has portamento. The brilliance is kind of like how would I say it? It's kind of like an EQ. It's kind of like an EQ. That's how I would.
Isn't this also Paraphonic Duo potentially? I forgot.
I can't remember if this one was, but someone can tell us.
I know the 40 is.
40 is, yeah. I don't think this one was, but someone can tell us. It's definitely got. It's also got noise. It's got pulse width modulation. The pulse width modulation is the LFO.
Filters.
By the way, the LFO is actually really cool because it actually has a repeat trigger for it. So it's kind of cool, the LFO. So there's a few kind of little nice things in this if you do get yourself one of them. And then also you'll notice too that you've got
invertible,
envelopes, which
is
is
a
cool.
multi-mode filter.
On your
Type
VCA
R,
envelope, you've also got times 5 on your VCA. So there. I don't think they're going to show a close up of that. There you go.
There you go.
Times 5 on the EG. Nice. Just a couple of nice things, on here that you don't normally see on your standard mono synths. And I don't know, I just feel like it was cool.
And
Memory
fake
for the
wood
day
grain.
was interesting. But do you like how the pitch, with the pitch mod, you've also got this octave
You got the
shift,
switch.
but it goes
Yeah, I
to
do like
fifths
that.
and thirds.
Yeah,
I like
thought
that.
it was cool.
I haven't seen
dig it.
that very often. That's another cool thing. And your modulation wheel also has routing options, so you can go to your VCO and VCF, or just your VCF. So yeah. Anyway, $1,400 I feel is not a bad price. So that one is
Yeah, they've gone up a bit. They used to be about 1,100.
That's in LA. That one, 1,100. Okay. I mean, don't
Around
forget.
1,100, 1,200. I was looking at them for a while. So
Your dollar is down at the moment though, because there was some, I don't know what's going on in your country, but
everything's
your
down.
dollar's-
The Japanese yen is down.
Ours is up.
Oh, is
Okay.
it? Huh?
Yep. Not everything's down. Ours is up.
They said right now, if you want to go to Japan, it's like one of the best times because it's high. It's better now than when I went the first time.
Well, they're
It's
saying
almost 150.
they're
to
saying the
$1.
same about us going to the US. So you might see quite a lot of Aussies popping over to the
All right.
US. Yep. Okay,
Fair
next.
dinkum.
Fair dinkum. Next, we're going to
Just in
go
time for Trumpageddon.
We'll just go straight to the live listing. Why show the slide?
Hey.
Go away with the stupid comment. Right, this is on a reverb. Now, I showed this because obviously the UBXA's come out. This is an OB8. Yes, it's not quite the same. I get it. Right. Synth City are quite a regular seller. They usually charge a bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking £6,500 is a lot of money for an Oberheim 8 voice. But anyway, that's what they look like. That one's a bit scratched up.
Does it come with
Probably
an
should have been
engineer?
cleaned first. It's smudgy.
Yeah.
People
Remember
don't think
the
about
days
reflections
when-
they take pictures.
Remember the days when synths used to come with, the person who could program it? They were called programmers back then.
Well, technically we are. We are programmers.
Yep.
Because
we do patches.
We do patches. We program sequences. We
We keep
program our
them
DAWs.
working. We do
Like
maintenance.
old-timey operators,
Basically,
telephone operators.
Yeah.
it's basically exactly what they used to do. So
Would you guys
we
pay
kept the
that
things
for
going?
an OB8? I don't know what the US
No.
equivalent is. I'll tell you what it is. $14,000 times 0.67 is $9,380 US. Andy, would you pay that? It's nearly 10 grand.
No.
Yeah. It does
Yeah,
have
to
the
be
cassette
fair, I was
thing.
actually happy with the OPX Pro VST a long time ago. So, have you ever used that before? The old VST?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Is
But
it an Arturia?
OPX,
Yeah, Arturia.
OPX and OPX Pro. No, it's a standalone. It's its own company.
Okay.
Oh, no.
OPX
No.
Pro.
No, don't have that.
The Arturia one
They were
I've got,
excellent.
I
I mean, they
think.
had a patch library that sounded like all the Styx songs and all the Tangerine Dream patches.
Sticks. God.
Yeah.
OPXA is the one I've got from Arturia. And do I have a Cherry Audio one? What do I have from Cherry Audio? I thought I had more.
If they still make OPX Pro or not?
Oh no, it was sorry, it was the GeForce, the GeForce one that I've got.
It is Sonic Projects OPX. I'll put it in the chat there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Been using that one for years.
Now, this one is the deal of the week, and I'm not joking when I say this, but when you think about it, these products that when they came out, the first time they came out, not the second time, the first time they came out, were more expensive than this price that you're about to see. Now, I'm just going to get the price ready as well because I don't want to... Cool. Right, here we go. Yes, it's the Moog Workstat, or Werkstat.
Yeah.
Now, this is the 01, so this is the first one, and it has the CV expander. Now, I've actually got one of these, exactly the same.
I have that too. Yeah.
I've got the CV expander as well. I've got a feeling my CV expander might look a little bit different to that, though. Or maybe it's the same. I'm not sure. Anyway, it does come with... So when you got this and you got it with the CV expander cost extra. Okay. Now this is $150 US, 157 if you want to get like right down to the pennies.
That's pretty good.
That is a
Pretty
really
amazing.
good price. So this is deal of the week, sitting on Reverb right now. It is in Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
If you want to buy this, if you do live in the US, that will probably be pretty cheap shipping to you as well. It's Synth City, by the way, same company that showed the other one. But they don't always charge overs for their stuff. And look, I know there was a recent Moog version of the Werkstat that came out, and there's also the, what's it called? Is it Mavis? What was the other one that they brought out?
Yeah, the
That's
Mavis
kinda,
was the other
Mavis,
one.
wasn't
Mavis,
it?
yeah.
So I absolutely love this Werkstat. I've still got mine. It's sitting in, I don't use it that much, but it's cool
box.
fun. Little single VCO, VCF, very Moog sounding.
It does have fiddly knobs though, like a 2 HP module.
Oh, it's like a Volca, like the same size
Little
knobs as a
skinny.
Volca.
Yeah, a little skinny.
Yeah. Let us
And
know
the
in
buttons
chat.
are pretty clicky.
Let us know in chat if you think that's a good price. 150 US for that. It's on Reverb right now. And like I said, all of those that I show on the show will be in the blog article. You can find them if you're watching this on replay. Hopefully it's still available for you if you're watching on replay. Maybe this is gone. Predicted to sell soon according to Reverb, but they say that on just about every listing. Just letting you know. One other person has it in their cart. I literally just saw that appear. Wow. They are good fun. They are good fun, these, and you can hack them too. There is a whole bunch of videos on the actual Moog website where you can go and connect these things up to your Arduinos and do a whole bunch of hacky stuff with them. It's pretty cool. That was the whole point of the Werkstat. It was kind of to get you into that hobby.
You built it at the show. Moog Fest, you built it, yeah.
Yeah, it was also to get you into that sort of mindset of synth design and manufacturer, making it a bit more accessible, get rid of those mental barriers that you could never do anything like, Moog would do. Well, actually, you kind of can. That's what Bob loved that, he wanted everyone to kind of participate in the electronic side of things, push it around, that kind of stuff. So
Bert's selling his System 8 on Reverb if anyone wants it. I think you're in Europe, aren't you, Bert? I forget where you are. Netherlands or something? Germany?
Is it North? That was Germany.
Germany or Netherlands? I can't remember where he said he was from.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So anyway, good luck with selling that. I've probably got part 2 to my selling stuff coming soon. I just held off during that sort of Black Friday, Cyber Monday thing because I just noticed that some of these retailers dropped the pants out of some of the the gear, and you just think, wow,
compete with that.
I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
I sold all my Volcas really cheap too. Like I kind of I don't miss them. I don't regret selling them, but I do regret selling them for the prices that I sold them for. because they were like, you just couldn't compete with the new prices. And I thought, geez, I paid so much more because I bought them all originally when they first came out, and they're so much cheaper now, Volkers.
Yeah,
I think Korg are just trying
Half
to
the ones I
get rid
bought
of-
were used, so I got really good prices on them. So.
yeah. I
Yeah.
also got mine when they were pretty much new, before I knew how to play the game, as it were.
Well, that's
Before I was
it.
Savvy.
What was your favourite price watch? Was it the deal of the week, or was it the CS20M? I kind of
I liked the Yamaha.
CS20. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yamaha,
I
yeah.
thought
I
it
always
was,
like those.
it's good quality of life stuff in that unit. It's like modern, very modern style sort of thing.
Yeah.
For
It's funny
such
though,
an
because
old
when you
thing,
look at it, you go that the wood grain is not even really trying to be wood grain. It's literally just a sticker on metal. When you touch it, it's cold.
Wow.
You know,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
because I had one of the organs, was it the K20 something? I forgot what it's called. The big old organ-y thing, and it's got the same kind of fakey wood stuff on it.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Let us know in chat if you've got any questions about everything that you've seen on the show so far. We've done about an hour and 40 minutes of synth chatty stuff. If you have a question about Price Watch or the news section or the memes even, I don't think we've ever had questions about the memes. Questions about our attitude.
Questionable
maybe.
memes.
Questionable memes.
memes.
Now, while I've got it sitting there on the chatties, I'm just going to quickly jump into a folder on my computer here, and hopefully I've got the right one. And hopefully I don't crash the stream if I do this. Here we go. Yep, Saturday Sonority time. Been a while since we've done the old Saturday Sonority stinger.
Officially.
Yeah. Saturday Sonora, if you're wondering what it's about about anything. You know, ask us anything. That's why we say it. This is kind of the section of the show where we just chew the fat, talk about anything. A little bit like some of the other streams that you see. We've been doing it since day dot, haven't we, Darren? We've just literally just been seeing where the conversation flows to.
Yeah, well, when we first started, we had to do it because we were trying to sort things out. So basically, was trying to chat and work things out.
Yeah.
So you got it whether you liked it or not.
Do you need to go and get some psychological counselling about that, mate? Are you okay with that?
You seem to be holding on to it.
I was just
He has Rave
just
Dave
going
to
back
help him
to
out.
see some old-
He still has
well, he
nightmares.
came in later,
He
right,
did.
Dave?
Yeah.
That the show started working later, better when he came in, mainly because everything was just literally whacked up to as max as it could go. But I noticed while I was browsing through some of my old videos and seeing some old pictures of my old studio, well, same space, but
Yeah.
the studio as it looked, how it's sort of grown, not size-wise, but sort of more compact and more built around what I do. Rather
Before you had the
when I first
Jaspers,
started, it
for
was
sure,
just-
definitely.
Oh yeah, before I before I had the Jaspers. What did I can't even remember what I'm trying to think now. What
You had your
was
modular.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had your modular across
Yes.
behind you.
Yeah, I had a shelf here with a modular on.
Yeah.
It was just with me Dolphin case, I think, and a few other
And that
bits.
side, on that side to your right, your left, yeah, to your left.
This my left.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Well, there was a.
There was
I'd
a
made it
little
out
bit.
of it's like sloped sort of.
There was a
piece
little
of
bit of stuff there. Yeah,
MDF.
yeah.
Yeah, but this Jasper on this side was what was behind me because it used to house two keyboards and then the modular on top with a thing, and this would move to here, and then I constructed the full works. Can we move this camera up slightly? Yeah, oops, that's too high. So yeah,
Remember
so
when he had
that's-
the sheet behind him and you were going to unveil the thing that you have behind you now? It's like,
Oh,
this is a
yeah.
work in progress. Yeah.
Oh, I've just
Oh, that's really down low. Yeah.
just kill the camera then. But yeah, that's I noticed that and I thought, oh blimey, it's surprising how it changes. A bit like yours, because yours was even in a different room, Rans.
I've had 2 different rooms actually before this.
Yes, too. That's the point. Yeah.
The first one,
how it changes.
The first one, I don't know if I actually live streamed in, but there's definitely videos on my YouTube channel where I was in the first one. And then, actually, if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the studio tour video, that's the first room. And then, because that's why I've left it up there, because it's kind of, left it up on the channel, I guess. And then the second room was when I started streaming, where you kind of see it's like all down the side. And then I moved into this room a couple of years ago now. But yeah, this room's pretty good. Like, it's very roomy. So yeah. There's nothing else in here. It's just me and synths and a desk and a lounge chair. I had to kick the dog out before because she was getting too noisy. She's out now.
You let the dogs out. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, people are asking me in chat to talk about stuff. There's reasons why I show things and why I don't. And most times I kind of say to you guys, if I'm going to show something that you've seen on other shows, it's because I've got something to add comment-wise to it. But if I don't show it, it's because I feel like something has been given enough airtime and I don't need to keep showing the same stuff. And I just don't really want to be like, do you know what I mean? Like, because what you're risking is like, you can watch a show on Wednesday, then watch a show on Thursday, and then watch a show on Friday. And now we're at Saturday. You've watched 4 different
same stuff,
and you've just literally just seen the same thing. And you literally will switch off. You'll go, oh no, not this again. Come on. So I mean, I definitely wanted to add some comments about the Arturia thing because I thought, I don't know. I just thought, geez, guys, come on! Like, why are you releasing a product that really isn't that much? You're not really releasing anything.
Some ads.
It was like the Korg 404 ripoff thing. You had to comment on that because that's too funny. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was, if I didn't do it, someone would have done it eventually. But but yeah, sometimes like I said, I will, and it's not because I'm being a censor. I'm not censoring things. It's just purely because when you've been doing this, I've been doing this for nearly 5 years. You've got a pretty good handle on what other people are showing, and you don't want it to become Yawn Town. It's probably already Yawn Town, but you don't really want it to become Yawn Town. Anyway, Saturday Sonority, like I said, we can talk about it if you want. So if Babs, if you're absolutely like, come on, just talk about it. Tell us that you definitely want to talk about it, and we will. Like, if you think that there's something that we need to add to that discussion, definitely we'll talk about it if you want to, like I said. But I'm just giving you the reason why I didn't show it. Last week I showed, you guys asked about what did I buy during Black Friday. My only product that I got during Black Friday was the Valhalla. I can't even talk. The supermassive upgrade. That's all I got. Is free, and I just absolutely love it. I love it. Yeah. Let's talk about the jamming, because I think that's the elephant in the room, really, isn't it? As Bert said, let's talk about the jamming, because I kind of felt like I'm not the first person to do this, by the way. So I'm not the pioneer here, but I do kind of felt like we kind of gave it a little bit of legs, bit of airtime, and I know that Kent did some jamming on his stream, and he was, it
was fun.
I think you were getting it going. Yeah, I do apologize for some of the quality of playing and that. Like, you guys need to know that I'm not, I'm not Ty Unwin or, I'm not these sort of people, right?
You know what's funny about the tech, though?
You're immortal.
I was talking to some people offline about it who've used it to actually record albums with other people around the world.
Yeah,
because it's been around since 2006.
Well, Jam,
And
what's it called? Jam.
not Jam Taba, but the
Jam,
Ninjam.
the Ninjam. Ninjam's been around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you go
I
to their
remember.
main page, there's an archive.org page that even holds all the old recordings from 2006.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
So they
amazing.
hold on to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading.
Exactly,
I
Bert.
didn't
Good point,
remember
mate.
its name, but I do remember reading it. I think in a Future Music magazine edition, which would be where what I mainly got some music tech information from back then. So yeah, when someone mentioned it was from 2006, I went, "Oh yeah," and the kind of graphics does sort of remind me of those 16 color dial-up modem type, visuals. I mean, it's progressed a lot since then, but it does seem like it was really familiar. Just the concept of it was like, oh, I remember people talking about this, but it wasn't really quite there yet. It was like promised a lot, but didn't deliver a lot. But it's good to revisit it, wasn't it? Because it was, sometimes
It's
these
very good.
technologies take 10 to 20 years to really become.
We tried something a while back for that, and it just wasn't working. Like I think it was it might have been BandLab or something. There was something that we tried to figure out what it was now.
Yeah, it was possibly BandLab.
And
Gaz was using that hardware called by Elk Audio with
that was
Nick
expensive.
from
That
State.
stuff. Yeah,
and it's expensive, and it's like you can only go like 200 miles away or something like that. And it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But this thing just like maybe there was some special magic in the air. I'm not sure how they do it. It's all to do with beat syncing,
lowest
and looping.
speed.
Yeah. But really,
because
I guess if you take yourself out of the theory of you don't know what you guys are hearing at your end, and I know what I'm hearing at my end, and if you can get it all the same, and it's kind of the way latency works with your the modern DAWs really handle latency well. It's probably the same algorithms that they're using, just on a larger scale, right? So I feel like it doesn't really matter what you hear and what I hear, as long as it's the same, right? At the time, if we would if we rang each other up on a mobile phone call, we'd be going, "Oh no, that's way off. What are you talking about?" But because we're hearing it at a different point in time, but it's all the same.
I wondered about it was that if how there's the BPI, there's the beats per interval. I think because there's the tempo.
Yeah, that's your latency. That's your latency.
That's the
adjustment.
loop.
Yeah.
That's basically the length of the loop or the length of a musical phrase.
Yeah.
So if you're doing like a 4-bar blues that lasts 8 bars, you'd set it to 8 bars because you want to play a 4-bar blues with people. What I wondered is, what if you key changed? Would you key change, but the people would hear your key change one loop after you actually did the key change? So would the key changes work? So that was one of the things I thought. I wonder if that works, because I kind of thought the way it would work is that you would be one repeat out. So if you did change key, then it could be a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess you could test.
Well, that's why the room was designed
out
around a specific key, right? You're not supposed to be changing it.
Yeah, I guess you could test that stuff out, and I think that's where
you could do it, but it'd be a
Kamagutsa.
glitch.
I reckon it would. I reckon it would come Kamagutsa with some of those things where you are really, you're moving through choruses, verses, and things like that in a quick way. I kind of think it's not going to work that well.
Because Ian set up a room on Kent's stream, and he says, "What key do you want?" And he put it in there. He put the key in there. He put the tempo in there, and then we're off.
Yeah. Now, if those
it's fun.
people are watching and they have got no clue at all what we're talking about, we are talking about an app that you can get. It's standalone, and also it is a VST or an audio unit for your DAW, and it's called Jam Tabber. It's part of the Ninjam architecture. And I'll just jump over to Ableton just to show you guys. I'm not going to do any jamming. Well, I didn't plan it anyway. There it is there, GTBA. And I chuck it. You don't have to, but I chuck it in my master bus like that. And this is it here. This is the app. And literally all you got to do is find someone jamming somewhere in the world. A lot of lone people there. There we go. Got someone jamming in the Netherlands.
Fiji?
His name's Phil.
No,
Oh, Italy. There we go.
Italy.
And Tony's
We had
also
somebody
in
join the
Italy.
jam from Brazil. It was fun.
Chile. We got Xavier. I think that's how you say that. In Chile, and we've got SV in Germany. And you just join one of these rooms. Now, if you don't have to join, you can actually just listen, right? So if I listen, hopefully it's not breaking any copyright. That's the syncing happening there. And maybe it's not working. I'm not sure.
Well, you.
I hope we don't break the stream. There we go. There's no. You can see there's nothing happening in that one.
The
Right.
waivers.
And then this
Just waiting
one.
for somebody to join.
Probably. Sometimes they just play on their own. That one's not playing anything either.
Everyone's on a break, Rants.
Yeah. It's really early in the morning. It's like, not in the morning.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
there was definitely more people.
No one's playing.
Later on.
Or you could just join these blank servers and you could look at how many maximum players there are in here. Some of them are
Yeah, we
quite
found one that had
small.
like 20 spots in it.
Yeah, so there's one there with 12. That one's pretty good. And you can just enter in there. Anyway, it's pretty easy. Green means that you're transmitting. Red means that you're not. There's a
By
couple of
default,
little,
it transmits. Yeah.
there's a
when you
couple of
connect.
little things that you should probably know about this too. Like, for example, where are we? Not here. Where is it?
That pop-up right there, that threw me when you guys were streaming. I couldn't get it to work, and then you had to go to that little pop-up right where your mouse is, above the red button, to actually pick your output.
Yeah, so that's on the standalone version.
Oh, standalone, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, well, I probably should show you the standalone version anyway. Let's just get rid of that.
Because it's slightly different.
It is slightly different. Did that go?
Yeah, I did try both.
Delete. Just give me a sec. I'm just going to exit some of these things. There we go. So there's the standalone app. It's literally the standalone. Now, this is the thing you were talking about. This is the drop down.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the reason why it's worked straight away is because it's picked up my ADAT module, Digiface. So yeah, I can literally just pick it there. It's pretty much the same as the VST except for that, because you don't really need that in the VST. But the thing that
MIDI, you have to do the MIDI routing.
you have to do the MIDI, yeah, and that's where you get your sync from.
Yep.
So I would just pick the MRCC.
And I had issues with mine. It didn't. It worked once and then stopped working.
Yeah.
The MIDI. So I'm not too sure.
So that's
about
where it's
that.
getting the clock sync from anyway. Yeah.
I thought Ableton would be more reliable, and it seemed to be that way.
So there is a way you can use this if you've got what they call an audio loopback app running on your Mac. I think Soundflower used to be around. I'm not sure if they're still around or not. They were free. I forget what the other one was called.
Soundflower's the original loopback, right? It's the same company?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And the cool thing, if you've got that, then you can actually send, like, if you don't want to play it through your DAW, you can actually send your DAW to that audio interface that's like the loopback anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had trouble getting my PC to do standalone listening to you guys and doing the Jam Taba, so I had to add a Mac running separately.
I forget sometimes too, because I've got two computers here, and both computers have got separate audio interfaces, and I'm using ADAT to connect from one to the other, and that's some cool stuff. But not everyone's got like two computers and two interfaces and things like that. So it was probably easier for me to do, but I've got to be able to do that to show you half the stuff on the stream on a different computer.
Sure.
Otherwise, it just wouldn't work. But if you're just running everything on the one computer, yeah, I can get that. That would be a little annoying. You'd have to have like a.
But it's also really crazy
channel.
to listen to both streams, because you had the stream playing on your channel,
yeah,
as well as listening to the stream, the stream coming off of Jam Taba, and you could really hear that. That's where it was a big disparity.
That's
right?
where the disparity. So there was a couple of things that we did kind of wrong, and it's no one's fault. This is the first. We were guinea pigs, we were doing it for the first time, hamsters, if you like. Like I think Chris didn't mute his stream, and so you could hear there was an arpeggiator going through his mic or something. Or if it was,
I had a period where I was streaming and ninjamming at the same time, and what that meant was that it was feeding both what I played in the ninjam. You were getting it back through, and then I was also giving it to you
through
via
the vMix call.
This is the vMix, so you were getting double of everything.
Yeah.
But I
eventually worked that out, and I muted you. Yeah, that was the only way to get rid of it. But that kind of worked. And I kind of thought that was it's kind of like when you start doing these shows where you've got video guests on, you've got to teach your video guests that they've got to mute their camera if they're going to cough or sniff or blow their nose, and there's all these little gotchas that you've got to remember about. And if you're jamming, what you don't want to do is you don't want to have jamming and live streaming at the same time. That's probably where the challenge came in. Because you're normally not going to be doing that. You're just going to be sitting in your studio jamming, right? And no one's going to be watching you. You can, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, you would have noticed Seb had a camera on himself during that tiny little camera thing pop up.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
So that Jam Tabber thing supports camera feeds.
That's one of the features that only the standalone version has,
which is really, really cool. And one of the things that you guys can, so if you think like to yourself, okay, well, how can I get a camera onto my machine that I've got, that I'm jamming on, and maybe it doesn't have a camera built in? Like if you've got a Mac Mini like I do, there's no camera in a Mac Mini, right? So one of the things you can do is you can get NDI tools, which is free, and you can run this thing called a virtual camera input, and you can just use your iPhone or Android, and you can get an app on that will stream. That it'll stream the camera on your phone, so you can just have your phone. You can mount it in one of those little phone holders somewhere and just use that. Now NDI tools looks like, have I got it on here? Probably do. NDI tools, where are you? NDI. Here we go. Oh, the icons have changed. So virtual input is kind of cool, right? Let's bring this up, because I actually kind of want to teach some people about this. This is actually really cool. So you'd know about this, Andy, because you muck around with this stuff. All right. So,
sure. Although the really old Mac version sucks. I was running an older Mac OS, and the download is too new for my Mac, so I had to find an old version.
What you can do, right, is you can I'm just using the video monitor here to show you what you can do. It'll show up in here. So you go into NDI tools and you go NDI virtual input, right? And that'll pop up top here, right? Up here. So then you can click on that. Now I can see VidPC, which is my, I can literally pick up any of the video. So vMix output is what I can pick up. And if we go to video monitor, there you go.
Video feedback.
All right. There you go. I can just pick up the camera.
Sounds like college radio there.
Actually, that is really quick. That's
pretty good latency, yeah.
It's like a split second. So that's what NDI can do. And so it literally picks up any camera that is feeding on the NDI network on your local area network or your Wi-Fi network at your studio, right? And you just then pick that up and then you feed it into Jamtabber. Now I can't remember if the VST version allows the camera in it. I should actually check that.
It doesn't.
So it's only the standalone?
Only the standalone does the camera. It's one of the main differences they say between the two.
There you go.
I guess there's no reason why they couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe accessing devices outside the domain of the DAW's permissions, security. Might be some issues there.
It's crashing on me. I can't get it back up and running now. I don't know why. Anyway, don't worry about it. But yeah, I was going to show you the camera side of it. It's actually pretty easy to do it. Yeah, you can do. Some of the guys in chat are saying you can do things like FFmpeg and VFL to loop back if you're on Linux. Yeah, there's some really cool. And then NDI tools are also on Linux as well. Yeah. So if you want to show your face while you're jamming, you can do that. Get your face on there, people. Whoa, what's that? That was a bit weird. What was that noise? Is that you, Darren? Darren's all like VHS-y at the moment. Look at that.
He's like scanning like color,
scanning lines.
shutter.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's like shutter.
He's being scanned by aliens.
You're being hacked.
Yeah.
That's somebody's. He's got his LED lighting on.
The greys are right outside.
Yeah.
Strobe is out of sync with his webcam.
No, it's actually not strobing. I've just turned it down, and obviously with the res of the camera's picking it up.
Yep. It's because it's doing pulse width
If
modulation.
I turn the brightness up.
So,
Yeah,
lady,
if I turn the brightness up, we should.
PWM. That's what's causing it. See, PWM is
pulse width
good for
mod.
other things.
it was the
Yeah.
the ISO rate. It would have been the
Shutter
ISO
speed,
rate. Yeah.
Usually
I can't
combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deeper, put it down.
Let me just get to Babs's question. What NDI tool was I talking about? It was the main one. I was just using video monitor just to show you, but you don't need that. The main one was the virtual input, NDI virtual input. So any of those phone apps that you've got that holy crap, there's a whole bunch of VSTs launching in the background. Weird.
What?
Go away. Strange. I think that Jam Tabber thing's done some weird shit. So any of those phone apps that you get that stream your camera via NDI, the NDI virtual input will pick it up on your Mac or your PC. Both works on both. And if you're wondering, that's how I do the StreamYard feed. So how I do the StreamYard feed is I've got a laptop and I'm using HDMI out, which is going into a capture card on my main video PC here. But how I get this actual show back into that so the StreamYard people can watch it is through NDI tools. Because one of the cool things about vMix is it actually broadcasts, unless you turn it off, it broadcasts NDI across the network. So literally anyone in this house could watch my stream by installing NDI virtual input and just picking up the vMix stream that's on there. As you saw before, you would have noticed when I had the video monitor up. Where is it?
Okay, Mr. Rance. What does NDI stand for?
Network distributed. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's where I got stuck too. I thought, what the hell's the I?
Yeah.
Imagery? I'm
Interface?
not sure. Interface. Yeah, it could be
Interface
because
could
it also works for audio, so maybe they considered interface was a better word than video.
I was going to say interface or interchange or something.
So just with any NDI product that you can access any NDI thing across the network, you can see it's picking up my local Mac, it's picking up another Mac, and like I said, I can pick up, I don't know, I can get Darren on here. I know that's you. Sorry, Chris. I can get.
You caught him.
Is that Darren?
Sprung.
See, like I can literally pick up the callers directly.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's
That
crazy.
one's not. I don't think that one's working. That might
Stuck.
be Darren.
So he's
There you go.
frozen.
There's Darren. And you can even full screen it.
Ooh.
So it's a pretty cool technology, to be fair. And you know, once you start mucking around with this stuff, it's good fun. But yeah, so that's just to help you get stuff into Jam Tabber. A lot of people use OBS with Jam Tabber as well. And then OBS, and I think there's a plugin for OBS that also has an NDI thing. I don't know why OBS don't put it in a standard now, because literally anyone who gets OBS will put the NDI plugin into it. It's kind of crazy. Guys in chats are recommending a few options. Yeah. So Kosh is saying that it's scanning the VSTs. Yeah, it kind of crashed on me while it was doing that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I use an Elgato app. It's basically free for doing the same thing. You mean the video around to phones and stuff.
Yeah, the one I used on my Android was better than the one that's on here.
There's a thing. So there's a paid version, but there's also a free version for Windows for Elgato that just works, even though it says it's a demo. It never expires. So if you don't want all the bells and whistles, you can get a free one that way. That's what I did.
So there's one I've got called NDI. What was the app called again? It was called TC Camera on iPhone. Let's see if that picks it up. Why do I keep having to open and close this video monitor? Let's see if it picks it up. Oh, that is insane. That was instantaneous. I'm just going to show you before I click on it. See how it says local host here? Hang on, let me zoom in for you.
Yeah,
I've got one hand. My phone's going to fall down. Stay there, phone. There. See how it says local host and it says TC camera? That's literally the app on my phone. There we go. You can hear me twice. Weird. That was cool. So your phone's picking up all the audio and stuff. Now, did I have to press something to get that? You heard my voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, but the video didn't show up.
Yes. We heard your voice.
Yeah.
Very good.
What do I have to do to get this to work? I'll turn the mic off. To view an NDI output from this camera app, assign it to a switcher input. Oh, okay. I need that requires a license. Yeah, that's what that's saying. I get it. Yeah. So that was the reason why this one wasn't good. Because you need the it's only $14 Australian. Like seriously. If you were doing a lot of this stuff, you just get it. But the one on Android, I haven't got my Android phone charged at the moment, it's sitting in the drawer. The one on Android was free because one of the cool things about Android is it kind of leans its way to some of the Linux development because it's kind of Linuxy in its sense. It's not really, but it's kind of
Propellerheads.
Yeah. So if you have an Android phone, you might find that better for you. I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, I should mention so far no real issues with the Sonoma update on my Mac. So I don't know if I'm putting it through massive paces, but I'm using Ableton on it every day, and I haven't got Ableton 12 beta yet. By the way, as soon as that Ableton lets me have 12 beta, I'll show you guys. It kind of sucks that I couldn't get it straight away. I know. I think Steve Elbow said he's got it in chat, so he's on the beta program already. But yeah, no, they haven't given it to me yet. But as soon as I get it, I'll show you guys.
I've got a gripe about Ableton if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go for it.
It's not a very good gripe. I was because I'm just learning how to use it, so I haven't bought a decent version of it yet. I'm just sort of trying it out to see how it works. Yeah, so I'm just using the Lite. And of course, one of the first things I was doing was testing sync and working with my external hardware. And that's where I found immediately came across the whole latency issue, where it wasn't in sync with a loop that I played inside Ableton. And I thought, oh no, there's a plugin that fixed that. It's called the instrument plugin. I'll just go and find it. It doesn't come with Lite. It doesn't come with Intro. And I think it only comes with Suite and above. I thought, really? This day and age, you're basically saying Ableton, no, if you want to try out Ableton with hardware, which not many people are doing hardware these days, look at us, you have to buy a mid-price to high-price license just to try it out. I mean, I know I can probably get a trial of it, but I just thought, I'm not going to, the problem with buying trials is 30 days, and I don't work that efficiently to get everything I need to test done in 30 days. So, yeah, so I just thought, that's a bit grumpy. Bit noisily of them to leave out the hardware latency one. You guys know what I'm talking about? The external instrument plugin in Ableton?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the one where you can tell it how much your latency is through your interface so that it then uses that as a plug-in delay compensation on the rest of Ableton. So then everything's in sync with your external hardware. Now, after discovering this, which wasn't too bad because I actually found a pretty obvious way to fix it, was just to put a delay on my master out. Very primitive, but it worked. Is there anyone heard of a third-party plugin, third-party VST that can report a specific plugin latency? Basically, because I was thinking all you need is a VST that just you can plug in the latency that it reports to the DAW.
Well, there's another way to
once
do
you've tuned it. Yeah,
I believe you could just go into here, which is your preferences, and you go into your audio interface.
Yeah.
And
you type in the latency.
You have got some latency stuff here, right? So you can play with your sample rate. Like mine's pretty high. Mine's at 512, and I believe if I drop that, it will reduce my latency. Because mine's 11 seconds, milliseconds, sorry. So if I go down to 256, that drops it right down. See, look at that.
That's conventional wisdom, isn't it, to drop your latency on your interface.
And also, I don't know if I've got Suite, which this is the maximum version you can get, but also there is track delay, bang, here.
Right, yeah.
Down the bottom.
What was that under?
So that's just under view, track delay.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'll check it out.
And there's also performance impact as well, which is more just a view thing. That you can look, which is kind of handy.
It's just when I read about it, because there were other people who complained about the same thing, I thought, are they, is this something they're really intentionally doing? So they may have removed all of the related menu items in Light just to stop people from trying to do hardware with it. But I may be being a bit cynical. I will try it out, and that's what I was asking. So thanks, guys, because I didn't quite know where to go with that. So
another place you can do it too is depends on the tools of your audio interface as well. So the RME has some tools inside it that you can muck around with. A decent interface would. It is a decent interface. The other one I've got on this other computer is the it's I can't really show you, but with the Presonus stuff, you get this thing called universal control, and this has got ADAT on it, so it's kind of confusing me a bit. But I'm pretty sure there's settings somewhere in here. I'm just trying to find it. It might be on the actual channel. Is it on the channel? No, it might be on the whole thing. There's definitely some settings in that audio interface that I can muck around with latency that mucks around with it as well. Yeah. So sometimes it may not be Ableton that you can do it on. Now, just out of curiosity, so latency only usually occurs when you're doing something in the box and you're doing something out of the box, and they're not marrying up with the time. And usually the easiest way to determine it is if you record, say, a sequence, and you look at your recording back, you will see that it's a couple of percentages of the bar in off sync, right? Now the other thing that you can do to stop that,
mine's usually 16th.
Yeah, like a 16th or a 32nd or something. Yeah. Another thing you can do to stop that, like, let me see if I can bring a recording in right now. Okay, let me just. That's not really sort of. Hang on, let's. All right, let's go into Ableton. I may be able to show you how to do this. I don't usually do this, so just disclaimer. But if I start playing, oh, there we go. We'll do it with the drum beat. Okay, easy. Because this will show audio latency now. Ready? Here we go. Just run it a couple of times. All right. So now if I stop that, and if I actually go into the actual recording, I'll bring this up so you guys can see it. And then I zoom in. Okay, so let's look at a bar. I'll just get one bar on the screen. So that's one whole bar. Obviously, that's the start of the recording. So latency-wise, you're probably looking at this area here. So for me, that is, when you're thinking of a whole bar, it's quite big, right? But if I zoomed in on that, okay, you can then actually fix that latency. See how it's giving you already, it's giving you the pointer. You can actually get that and bring that back.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's a pain in the ass, right? And it's just done it for that one, okay? And you could do it across the whole thing. But it does actually correct it for the whole thing. And that's another way that you can get around it. And if you're doing it in clips, like this is one of the cool things about Ableton. Once you've recorded a clip, you can actually fix it that way as well. By the way, it does have these warping transients and stuff here that you can play. I don't
Switch it
know.
on by default, yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually default settings are pretty good now with Ableton. It's almost transparent. It's pretty amazing.
I generally don't usually touch that sort of stuff because I don't need to, because I will work with Ableton Link up here.
Nice.
If I've got Ableton Link turned on, I don't have my MPCs or my Force turned on at the moment. Darren, you probably should, if you've got a Force, you probably should use Ableton Link if you're not already. I don't know if you can actually, because your version might be too old. Yeah. But the cool thing about Ableton Link, you can. By the way, you can get hardware that has Ableton Link in it as well. There's eurorack modules and there's other devices.
There's some standalone ones, and
that also fixes up internal and external hardware. And what Ableton Link will do is that will make Ableton, so any of your VSTs and software instruments, it will sync it all with everything else hardware.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be a workaround. And I do believe Ableton Link works on the Lite version.
Yeah. I don't have anything that's going to support Ableton Link, unfortunately.
Anything in the chat room? Were they saying anything in the chat room?
I could. This could be a good Raspberry Pi project, you reckon?
That's funny about the early version of the Force.
Ableton Link's a license thing.
Ableton export.
Yeah,
you could use Ableton Link on
it. There's probably 3 different options you've got there anyway, Chris. That just gets you around having to use. So the only time I would use an external instrument, in fact, I actually don't use them because I hate it. It's a little bit like what do you call it? There's another thing, instrument racks. I don't really use instrument racks that much either in Ableton. Probably should, because it's a cool thing that it can do. But with external instruments, right? So there's 2 ways to skin a cat. So
it's Ableton.
An external instrument, right? For those who don't know, an external instrument is basically it's like one track which marries MIDI and audio into one.
Yeah,
that's basically
it. It's a unifier.
Yeah. What I tend to do is I tend to have my MIDI tracks separate to my audio tracks. And I do that because I Darren, you might be the same as me, aren't you? I feel that they are separate. Personally.
Yeah, I'm the same. In Cakewalk, I always worked, almost always, whenever I created an instrument track, I used to split it up straight away. Because I quite often want to layer, even the same MIDI channel, I quite often want to layer multiple channels of it because I'll sometimes have overlapping ideas. sometimes creating chords out of individual mono lines is the way to go. A lot of times when I'm doing drums, I really want them individually as well. And sometimes you just want to get it done quickly, and I find just adding MIDI track, plus, you know, it's the quickest way sometimes.
I kind of think like when I was doing my album, right, the last one, if I did instrument tracks, external instrument tracks, I would have come a gutser. And the reason for it is because in some cases I will have the MIDI track. If I'm playing something live, I'll record both the MIDI track and the audio clip at the same time, and that way it captures. You can use the command key on your Mac or Control on your PC to multiple capture record clips, MIDI clips, and at the same time. And I do that because the cool thing about it is that while you're playing, it's picking up all the MIDI stuff and also all the audio stuff at the same time. Yes, an external instrument track will do that with one click, but then, and this is kind of just a workflow thing, but then I've got kind of two separate realms, right? And when I'm bringing, because with my workflow, it's probably just me and my stupid brain, but when I bring my track together as an arrangement view, I drag clips from session view into arrangement view and drop them onto the arranger. So if you guys have never seen do that before, it's actually a really cool thing. And this is where I think it can come a gutser.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
You do it too, don't you, Dan? I think you and I we actually taught each other this. So you hold down,
and with doing my live set, I'm doing it as well.
You hold this down, so you hold it down, and then you press tab, and you literally can just chuck it straight in, like that.
Nice.
And then
clip dragging, dropping.
So nice. It becomes a cool thing, and the other cool thing about it is, like basically with me, my arrangement is not MIDI. It can be. I don't usually work that way. I usually prefer to work with audio, because then I send it out as a stem, and then I do my mixing in Presonus Studio One. But so
just
in
to
that
watch
case,
reverb tails and things like that.
You would do that, right? And if you want to fix that, it probably the clip needs to be fixed first, right? So you would need to go into here, knock that down to a 2-bar loop, which is there, and then you can drag it in as I did before, and then literally there's
which is good if you're doing visually trying out a visual sort of arrangement first.
Well, there's quite a few ways of doing it, isn't there, Ranz? Also, once you're back in the arrangement view, remember to hit the tab in the right corner so that you can hear it from the arrangement. What I always find
I didn't do that right,
you could actually.
That's that.
If you loop on,
No, but if you're playing in there, because I'm also doing the opposite way around as well. Any stuff that I'm creating in the arrangement view to send it to live, I cut it up into the arrangement view and then drag it, drop back into a clip view. I mean, there's other ways of doing it, but that's just the way I like to work. So
that is a great little segue to talk about live and force, right? No, it is. It is really good. So one thing is, if you've got an Akai Force, you can actually literally save your Ableton project and pop it on your SD card and chuck it into Force, and it will pick it up. Now, there's some caveats to it. So number one is you can only have what Force is capable of doing in terms of audio tracks, which I think is 8, right, Darren?
8. It's 8.
Yeah, and 8 MIDI and that sort of stuff. So if you've got a big project where you've got
I think you can have more MIDI. It's just
maybe
8
more
audio
MIDI.
tracks.
It might be just be the
8 audio tracks, and then you're limited on. You can have a lot more MIDI tracks.
A lot more MIDI, So if you've
got and all that stuff,
if you've got a big project that's got more than 8 audio tracks, and you want to pop, a lot of it stuff, right?
On my live set,
and you want to pop it into your Force. What you need to do is you need to do a save as on that project in Ableton, and then you create what we would call a force version, which would be you either do a mix down, where you're basically creating clips mixed down of multiple tracks, or you would then make a decision about, okay, I only want to have these tracks on my force to use, so you would only be maximum of 8 in that sense. So that's just kind of two ways to think about it. It's not a limitation. It's just that the hardware of force is limited. Now, this is where I was saying this is a good segue. Sorry, go. Yeah.
Because I'm writing my blackout set for next year. I've already got me like 200 sets still use.
Yeah.
And this is the way I had to go, right? Because some of the tracks, everything for my live set is written for live, whether it be an existing similar track and I've remixed it, like you say at Ranzee. You have to sort of, it makes you think because you get this big track that you like, scram it down into a smaller set, either remix it or rewrite it, and that's what I've been doing. So it's like you say, you've got to sort of think what bits you need, or whether you need to pull up, if you've got like, I don't know, 4 bass tracks in Ableton, you're going to have to whittle that down to 1 bass line into the force, otherwise you're going to take up too many. Unless you're going to play it via MIDI off a different instrument. The reason Rig 2's come in. So
another way to do it is to create clips in one track. So say and just have like a bass track, and that might, like you said, Darren, it might have multiple different bass instruments in your bass, like in your actual music. But what you can do is you can create multiple clips in that bass track, and then when you go into force and drag it in, because you've only got one bass track, you can launch those clips. The only negative side of that is that you can only launch per track, you can only launch one clip at a time. You can't launch multiple clips on one track at a time, right? Because it's limited to one clip per track. But depending on how you write music, that's going to be beneficial, because then you've got access to the other bass sounds at your fingertips when you want to launch them. So that could be another way of doing it. And like what Darren's doing is actually pretty cool, because he's doing a mix of playing stuff on his force, and he's also got a few live bits of gear that he can control via MIDI as well, because force can control a lot via MIDI. It's really, really good actually. And you can do away with laptops and things like that technically if you wanted to. But yeah, in that sense, you could then say, right, well, okay, if I set myself up with a little live rig like Darren's done, what would be a smart thing to do is maybe I'll bring all the gear that's easy to sort of lug around, like the smaller gear, the desktop size stuff, or the stuff that handles multi-timbrally or whatever, right? You make that decision, and then you do your sort of clip and your audio tracks of all the more sort of processed stuff, the stuff that's really kind of more complex to play maybe, or the things that like the samples and stuff like that. That's kind of what you would do. In which case, Darren, I would probably I would have like a second. In my case, if I was to do a live jam now, like an EMOM, I would have my MPC and my force. So it's kind of sounds overkill, right? But I'd use my force as my main arranger, and I'd use my MPC as a backing sample playing, also audio tracker for it. I feel like it's more like a clip launching sample playing instrument. Or I could, instead of bringing the MPC, I could bring like my Electro as a second, because it's got 16 pads that I can put samples on. So yeah, that's kind of, you just got to think outside the box.
Or as I did, I used my iPad as a sample.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah, you had the iPad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unlimited then, isn't it? Technically.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I say, it's just a matter of just working around, changing. It's changed. I won't say it's changed the way I write studio, because I still write tracks as I used to, but it just makes you think a bit more of when you do write to go live. It's like now I'm gonna have to think on this, because it might sound good with lots of, we're just in the studio as a track, but it's just not going to work. Plus, you've got to be able to perform it as well. So it's got to be easy, but still compressed
Yeah.
enough to.
And I kind of don't really want to do. You know how you can set up, with Ableton as well. Like if you had a push, same thing, same thing in the Force. You can on the right hand side you can launch like scenes basically, right? And it will basically it'll launch the whole row of clips, and you can perform that way. And so sometimes if I was doing it, I would probably want to do a bit of that, but then maybe I might want to launch a clip from another row, right? And just kind of it's almost like you're remixing your own music in that sense. Yeah. So you're not trying.
This is what I was doing, Ranz.
Yeah.
But this is what I also said. This is I write it so that it can be performed, like you say, as a scene. Yeah. So I can run scenes whilst using my outboard gear for other bits, and then I can switch from doing the scenes to, like you say, remixing the track within itself. But this is why I was saying it'd be great if you had a mirror and a mirror lock, so I could lock, say, like I was saying, the Akai MPC, lock it at that position in the track. I can then scan through the Force, say further down in the track, but the MPC's at the top of the track, and then I can trigger off from further down maybe in the mix. Yeah. And I know you can sort of do it by splitting the windows, but I'd rather have the two pads so I can see where I'm, at all this pad starts at, say,
well, you definitely could with a second
scene 1 to 10.
Definitely could with a second MIDI controller. That would be a definite. And I'm kind of thinking that because I know you can do that on the MPC. You definitely can do it on the MPC, which means you would definitely be able to do it on a Force because they've like almost identical firmware. There's only a few differences, and the MIDI side I think is pretty much identical. You've got like those. Have you got like a little launch pad or something like that? I thought you had a Novation.
Yeah, I got a little launch pad, little launch pad Mini Mark III. Yeah, which I was using for keys and some MIDI note changes and stuff on the outboard gear. But I'm not sure.
Like mine's an old one.
I think now.
But something like that.
Yeah, I've got the mini one. Yeah.
This is like I think version 1. This is a crap one, but something like that may be all you need, and just connect it up using a USB hub on the back of your Force, and then you would just go in and map.
Yeah, but does that
map that?
Yeah, but that wouldn't lock the screen as you see it, though, would it? You wouldn't be able to sort of...
Not the screen, but you'd map it. You'd kind of have to be pre-thought, so you'd map it to where you'd want it to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I want it to be free-flowing, you see, so I can just... whilst I'm playing it, I can just go lock there,
don't even think...
carry on.
I don't even think the new Push can do that. You know the new Push 3 that's out? I don't even think that can do it. What you're saying. It's a cool idea. Yeah.
It's basically
if Akai, since they brought the Akai and PC out, why not make it do something like that? Because it's part of their, just even if it just lives in the Akai environment. So it's not.
Have you asked on the forums?
An Ableton controller.
Jump on the forums and ask. You never know. There might
I've
be
not
a
yet.
way.
It was just something I was. It was something I was thinking while I was doing this setup. I was just thinking if I could lock the whole pad arrangement.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Still move through the.
Because you don't want to lose where you're at. And then you do want to scroll and look for something else. It's almost like you want to queue something up, right? But
it's a similar.
That'd be good for
a lot.
Yep,
and it'd be good for transitioning between tracks as well, because you could pull out something for much further in your next track while you're looping the last arrangement.
That is exactly what I wanted to do, and that's why I was saying I need a mirror and a mirror lock, so it mirrors your screen, it mirrors your Akai Force, and you can either lock the pad at that point, run through. I mean, you might be like 300 scenes lower, but this one's still locked at the top of the scene, and then this one's down there at 300.
See,
and you can then jump the baseline from there.
I could have sworn I remember seeing someone posting in Facebook there's an Akai Force group in Facebook where they had two Force. They literally had two of them side by side.
Yeah, I've seen the two Force, and
I remember reading so everyone's going, "Why did you buy two of them? What on earth did you buy two of them? Why do you need two?" And I got a feeling that might have been something similar to what you were saying, Darren. That you sync them together.
That's what gave me the idea, because I looked at that and I thought, can't you do that without having two Forces though?
We
be a
don't want to buy
firmware
2.4.
update.
I mean, they're
Brilliant.
expensive. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
But,
Because
but
if
that
that's
sort
a
of idea
feature,
was what I wanted to create.
if that feature comes from just having two different views on the same session, so your second view, and what Rance is talking about is if you can get anything which can give you a view of your session, then that might be by de facto actually supported, basically by the fact that you launch a clip from one view and then you've got another scene playing in the other view. Will it work? It's kind of like, until we try it, we don't actually know, do you?
Yeah, I do. I
I'm
remember
sure that
the
can't be
APC
too hard
Mini.
to do.
Those little APC Minis that I use for my show. I've got Mark 1 and I've got Mark 2 here. And I remember the Mark 1, I plugged it into the Force and none of the pads lit up, which is one of the things that annoyed me about it. So they only light up if they've been programmed through the USB interface via Ableton. And luckily, vMix, I use it from the video side, has got a programming thing that makes the pads light up. But I haven't tried the new APC Mini Mark II yet, Darren. And if the pads light up, you can actually scroll through the grid with the little function buttons that you got on here. And that might be
independent.
It might be a little bit of a pain having to hold down shift and then press to get it to where you want. But that actually might be a cool thing. I should probably try it out.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. When I was setting this Live Rig 2 up, it was what I was thought. Because I've seen the 2 i4 setup, which is great, but you don't win in the price for 2 forces just to the force.
That's right, yeah. That's it, yeah. Now, move that out of the way.
And this is why I thought Akai would have done something similar to this new MPC that they bought, the APC that they bought out would have been a perfect addition. So you won't be buying it just as an Ableton. You can still use it within Akai's.
I'm still here. Hey.
Oh, it's caught up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
There's a bit of freezing going on. Yeah, there was definitely a glitch. It's just popped up in the stream as well. It's fine now.
We're all good. Yeah, but
I'm just plugging USB in. Sorry,
on that track there. Okay, USB. Plugging USB in.
He's playing USB lottery. Which way up?
USB.
Place your bets. Place your bets, people. Like roulette.
It's a bit like when you take some out of USB when you've not ejected it or anything. It's a lottery.
Sometimes you pull out something out of a USB and you're like, I want to put it back in the same port it came out of, but I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
It's less so now, but it used to be a real problem. You had something, you had to install the custom drivers for one USB port only and crap like that.
Oh,
it's
no.
up.
Not happening.
Doesn't light up. And I wonder if that launches the first clip. Yeah, so but maybe I have to map it. Ooh, hang on.
Yeah, I was going to say, because kind of what we're talking about here is what Ableton calls a controller, isn't it? So you want to set up 2 controllers in your Ableton environment.
Let's have a quick look.
It's like, come on, Akai. Why can't they have something that does like a push when you link it into Ableton? Ableton controllers. Why don't they do controllers for their own equipment that links seamlessly?
I could see somebody tuning in and go, where the hell did Ranzee go? He left his own show.
He's invisible. He's still late.
And why have and why on earth haven't the guests noticed?
He threw his synth at the screen and walked off.
No, he's not. He's still there. No, that's just a chair. You haven't noticed.
No, he's not. We can see, but no one else can.
It's almost rude. It's like, we don't notice when he's here or when he's not because we'll keep on talking. We don't notice the difference. Oops.
To be honest, I have some friends like that. You'll be on the phone with them and they'll talk for 20 minutes nonstop. I can put the phone down, walk away, get a drink, come back. They're still talking. It's like, all right. I don't really need to be there.
Hi.
I think we all know someone like that.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not on the latest Force.
I'm not thinking that.
update
I don't think it can
because
do
I
it.
heard people having.
Yeah.
I heard people saying it was having a few issues.
It's interesting. It does. It is something I could imagine would be, not supported yet, because it does require you to just design the architecture to have independent views. So you've got to keep those independent views. And that really depends on whether you've designed the software around having multiple sort of controllers.
Because there are some controllers that will work but not light up. Like the Machina Jam, if it's on a Machina Plus, it will light up. But if plugged into something else, it doesn't necessarily light up the same way, but still works.
Yeah.
That's the Force.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's annoying. It lights up when you're in note mode. It'll light up in note mode.
Oh.
Yeah. And also on the Force, you can
Interesting.
still split the two pad screen, the sync set and the thingy, so it's not as if it's.
Yeah. It's not completely incapable, which is one of the things that we like about the Force, right? Is that you can split the screens. Well, you can't do that on the MPC. Yeah.
You can do it in quads. Actually, you can have 4 separate zones.
Yeah, and you've got
Force.
your little OLEDs with your knobs as well that you can do other cool stuff.
Scribble strips.
Yeah.
So why they can't have it going out to even their own make? Like I said, the MPC 64 would be perfect for that.
I'm still kind of interested in the Push 3 because, like, I kind of want to find out, like, how much better is it than a Force? I mean, it's thinner for a start, like from the tabletop. But like, what's
MPE?
what amount? How many tracks can I have on it, and all that sort of stuff? Where's all that? There's
The thing
3,000 Australian dollars.
Suite.
Yeah,
I got the live
$3,000
suite on sale because I may
Price.
want to get a Push 3 eventually.
It's insane amount.
Yeah,
of
well,
money.
like I say, I was hunting for the Push 3 and everyone thought there wasn't one coming out. And like I say, a few months later, after I got the Push 3 come out. But as having said that, I still love the Force. So, and like I say, is it a third of the price? Half the price?
Yeah. It's pretty hard to go past.
As a standalone, anyway. I mean, you could get 2 Forces.
I got the Force when it was like $900 or whatever. So
it still keeps on running around about between 1,000 and 1,100 to 900 and some. So they're still hanging around that price.
yeah, I like it. It's just very menu divey. So if I want menu divey, I'll do Machine Plus because it's more satisfying menu divey. So
Yeah, I was just trying to work out how many tracks this thing's got, and I can't find it real easy. Someone will be able to tell us. Oh, I've got one. It's blah blah blah. Instead of me having to sit here and scroll through the manual, banging my head.
Yes,
against the microphone.
we don't come on this program to scroll through websites.
Like, just tell me how many.
it's better if you
tracks
put the manual on the screen so we can watch you scroll.
Yeah.
How many tracks can you do? You stupid bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, the AI input isn't really working very well, isn't it? I'm picking up a tone from your tapping of the keyboard. You seem to be frustrated, Ranzee. Can I send you a psychologist?
No, they will quit their job after they've seen me. So. No, I can't work it out.
What's this? Push 2 works. What's there? Push 2 works with what? On the chat.
You can actually plug a Push 2 into a Akai Force and map things on it. But what Darren's saying is, if once you map something on it, it's kind of static what you've mapped.
Yeah,
and what he
it's
wants
one way.
is he wants it to be more like following him, what he's doing. Like if I decide
Yeah,
to press
on-
that,
on my
I want it
set.
to freeze there. Yeah, I know what
Context.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Context.
I mean it's so the
There's
stuff
not a
that
lot of
I've
two-way communication
mapped is-
unless it's made for that product. So
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and you would have thought that Akai being in the same family, you'd have thought that'd be the idea to
Well,
get
yeah.
talk to its own equipment.
no, because look at the MPC and the Force. I mean, they're kind of the same, but they have different OSs, different releases, different staged stuff comes out for the same, both products, but they're different times. And it's weird.
I really get frustrated though when they bring out things like these little APC minis, right? And in a way, I kind of wish that they would have the same forethought that Novation do with their products, like the launch controls and that they have. They work with multiple different systems, so you can have it working in Ableton, or you can have it working in Fruity Loops or Propeller Heads Reason or something like that. Whereas the APC Mini, it literally just... Have I frozen again? I've frozen.
Visually.
Yeah,
A little bit.
But we can hear no one's
don't worry. There we
just
are.
caught up.
Catch up.
Yep.
Yeah, the PC's not handling it. I usually stream from the Blackmagic. But anyway, what I was saying is that I kind of feel like I wish the APC Mini would have an Akai Force mode. That it will pick up the pads. You could set it to pad mode, or you could set it to Matrix Mixer, or what's the other one? Clip. So I don't think Clip would work actually.
Akai's weird like that. You ever use those old iOS things like the Jam Station, and the phone docks into the keyboard, and now it's a keyboard with the phone.
Oh
inside
yeah.
of it? So they had cool stuff like that, but they don't support it. It's good for about a year, and then it's done, right?
Yeah.
So
A lot of these things could set up templates for them. Like I remember in the early days, it was basically whatever controller you put out, you had to put up the Ableton template for it. You had to put the Cubase template and the Fruity Loops template, and that was that got to a pretty good stage where that pretty much came up. And I remember Akai were putting all of those out then. But then when we went to
and now they can't
standalone,
even put it up for their own equipment.
when we went to standalone, of course, that kind of changes the game a bit, because it's a lot harder for software developers to get access to hardware development sort of templates unless there's a bit more sort of openness. I guess that's where open standards for things like this would probably help.
Oh,
but within the set,
Yeah, if
within
there
the
was an
same
open controller
company or the same
standard.
manufacturer, you'd want it to be a thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Well, that's what we're saying.
I
Like
think so.
the Akai
can't,
needs to be doing
being a bit
stuff that
lazy.
complements their Akai products. And I think that so many people would agree who own a Force or an MPC. They wish that they would make like a little. What was the other thing that they released recently? The APC something Mark 2, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The thing that had the standalone sequencer.
Made an Ableton controller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would've
Ableton
forgotten
controller,
this.
and you can go to standalone.
It's not the 40
which
because that was
doesn't
the
do
one
a great
that's-
deal.
yeah, when I was using my Force a lot, I had the battery pack for it. I had a nice kind of semi-hard case for it, and then I had a little 49 note mini key bed. Not 49, 37 note, I think it is. They also slid into the same thing, so I could have this whole thing laid out on a table in the middle of nowhere, and it just worked with any MIDI controller. You just hook it in, it's cool.
Yeah, those laptop batteries that you can buy, the little power banks for the laptops, they actually will power Force for quite a few hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is one without the inverter, but then you get the inverter if you need the AC plug.
Well, yeah, I just plug it straight into the DC socket in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to match the
plug.
It's at 19.4 volts or whatever the hell it is. So.
Yeah, it's some weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one I've got does. I think it does up to 32, and then you can select through a little menu on a little LCD screen. You can go down, because there's a few laptops that run on that same voltage.
Exactly. Yeah. My favorite. There's a brand on Amazon called Christonia that does a lot of really good. It's high quality. I use them for my telescopes, as well as the instruments and computers. and they're great.
Mm.
So
Handy.
not cheap though. They're like $250, $200, something like that. But a lot of milliamp hours, so it's good stuff.
The ones that you want to go for though have the better wattage, right? The wattage is kind of where you want to look at. The milliamp hours is also important, of course, because that's the longer the lasting in time, right?
Yeah.
But because some of these they don't handle a lot of wattage.
Oh yeah, no, I plugged a power strip into it, so I have a whole bunch of stuff, and
yeah,
it works great.
Yeah, the one I got originally, I bought it because I was running the Octatrack off of it, and the Octatrack was I think 12 volts if I remember rightly.
That one you can run off of one of those MyVolts, those little ripcords.
Yeah, they're getting
because I have a Digitact and a Digitone running two different cables, two different ripcords running into a 2-port battery, and it works great for hours.
Kent has a question.
Ask
your question, Kent. Go for it. Hopefully it's not too delayed, so you'll get this in time. Yeah. I do feel like we've suffered a little bit with streaming on the same computer as that I'm running vMix on.
Yeah,
and I
it's
also
a little bit clunky.
I feel
it's
like
glitching a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think the internet suffered though. Like since I got rid of that second internet connection, I don't think we've seen any issues with that. So that's been good. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. I just don't know how long the delay is. I think it's about 10 seconds.
I don't think it's too long.
No, it's
We're
Yeah,
staying here
it's
waiting.
not even
for
that.
Kent. It's all right, Ken. Just take your time, mate.
3, 4,
Maybe he's gone to think of the question he's going to ask you.
He might.
He's still
yeah.
fixing his wasp. I think he's playing with a wasp recently.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
It might be flying around the room.
12, 13, 14, 15. 15 seconds.
We're gathered here today.
To witness this thing called life.
Okay, where's the air horn?
Oh no.
Here we go. Are you familiar with this new USB 3 Type B socket? Oh,
Looks
yeah.
like a little house.
Yeah, I've got one in the back of the Akai Force.
God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have lots of them.
Yes, we are. We are familiar.
Like when you buy a computer now, that's all you get. They don't give the old ones out anymore.
Yeah. Why do they? But the thing is, why do they make things different shape?
Just to make it
What happened with Firewire too? Remember, there's so many flavors of Firewire.
Yeah, they did. The Force
To
has
be
got
fair,
it,
they have.
and I think the Novation Peak might have it as well, if I remember rightly.
TR6 has it.
TR6 has got it.
I think maybe the mini log.
Not many things though.
My Force is the only thing
audio
I have that
interface
has
has
it.
got it. My audio interface has got it.
Very. Oh yeah. My old one did. My new one does not.
Yeah, half god, half beast. The one the Forest uses. Yeah, the squarey rectangle plug, not the USB Type A. This is the
One that
It's
looks
not
like
the rounded square.
looks
It
like
looks
a
like a
house.
house
One that
or a
looks like-
church
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Well, that's the standard B. That's the B.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Force, the USB 3 has a little notch on the top of that.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Taller. It's a bit taller.
I don't actually have
Yeah.
my Force.
I didn't
Okay,
have it here,
maybe
man.
I don't have those. I think I've just encountered the old version.
In fact, I think that was. Are you sure the Force has got the third? Yeah, I'm sure it has.
Yeah,
But
it
where
does.
do we-
It does
That's
because
a
I've
good
used that
question.
with it.
And where's my
Yeah.
Force? Then that's a good question because where have I put
okay.
my Force cable?
Is there going to be a part B to the question, Kent? Or are you just wondering if we know about
Is
it?
is it going to be how do I remove it when I put the wrong one in?
I have my handy, but I don't.
Yeah, I thought I'm the same.
I use them very much.
Well, my
I know I threw it in the bag
I
with the
see.
Force.
Wow. I've just got some pictures of it now.
Yeah, it's a little funky looking.
It is. It's like it's like a USB 3 socket that someone put a kind of micro USB prongs on the top of it with a gap.
Yeah.
Where are those samples?
It
from?
has these extra
It's $3.90.
4-pin connectors
$3.45
on it that
Australian.
appears to have something to do with MIDI too. I have one on the back of the montage. It's like I've got a montage and just going to jump in the Jaguar. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it's anything. Okay, so there's two completely. I don't think USB 3 have any marriage at all to MIDI 2. I think it's just that MIDI 2 are kind of like, oh, well, that technology there might be good for us. So they've jumped on the back of that. I think that's kind of where that's going. But, I mean, the benefit with USB 3 is the speed, right? The bandwidth that it can I/O. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at here. So USB 3 has a much. I mean, if you're looking at your montage, I don't know really what's inside that. Does it have a hard drive? I don't think it is. It's just a synth, right? So it's just transmitting data backwards and forwards. Whereas a Force, you don't have to, but they have like you can put an SSD drive in them, and when you connect it up to your PC, you can actually mount the hard drive onto your PC or your Mac. And actually transfer files.
I did that
in
immediately. With the SSD, it's so much better.
It is so good. And and that's why they need USB 3 on that, because you're actually doing proper file I/O. And it's actually really quick. Like it's, just as quick as if you had an external drive connected up to your Mac that you're using every day.
That's one thing. It took forever is getting that disk streaming on there. That was like the last major feature.
Yeah. So can't seem to find the correct cable for the bloody thing. Well, yeah. So get yourself just find yourself an Akai Force cable. I'm pretty sure that I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure the Novation Peak also has one as well. I could be wrong.
When you order like a Dell computer or whatever these days, that's what they come with.
Yeah, any computer shop will have them. Go to a computer shop, you'll be fine. Let's see if I can find one on Amazon for you.
What's that?
USB
I'm still trying
3 type.
That must be off my. That's off circuit.
There you go. Literally the third click.
Question is,
how do you link Amazon again? Is it just the first? Up to the first slash, isn't it? I
just forget because they were so damn long, those links.
The first link. There we go. I literally this is amazon.com.au. I'm sure it will rejig itself. But that link there should get you an Amazon. It's $11.99 Australian, which is what, half that? £6, £6. It's only a 3 foot, so you might want a longer one. But that's the jobber. You guys clicked on that link. Is that the right cable? Have I got it right?
Let me look at it here.
Oh, it's even got the nylon thread.
That's it. Yeah, the tall one.
You might like that, Kent. It's braided, like like the hair. You can sit there and braid your hair. One.
It's basically like they took a USB-B and a USB mini and stacked them on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't want to buy it from Amazon, you could probably just look for that somewhere else, computer shop, whatever. I mean, I don't know what that brand is. Faz-Gear? I've got Faz-Gear, boys. It's Faz. It's very Faz.
There's some of the
so anyway, we didn't work out. So why did the
those playing
to use that anyway? Why did they just not use a USB 3 computer?
For those playing along at home, the USB 3.0 Type B has 9 pins and a shell, as opposed to a normal one which only has 4, and USB-C, which of course has 18 or something, because it's got the same things mirrored on the other side, so
up and down. It's like HP. Yeah.
So it's HDMI. Just they kept on, and what has it got? It's got more stuff, but unfortunately I don't speak USB, so I don't know what those pins mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got SSTX and
I'd send you one.
SSRX pins.
I'll send you one through the camera
Ooh.
if I could.
Yeah, I can't drag and drop onto the interface.
Yeah,
that would be cool. It'd be cool if we could drag and drop
You're
what
the
we've
cynic,
got in
mate.
our
You're the
browser.
cynic. I agree with you, though. The whole standardization of USB connectors was a real success. Absolutely. It was brilliant. You can thank Apple for that, to be fair. I think Apple had a lot to do with, like, we're not conforming. What you can't tell us. We're a massive company, which only about 1% of the world buy from you, but you're not that massive, so don't, get too big for your boots. MIDI 2.0, yeah, so don't get confused, boys. MIDI 2.0 has nothing to do really with USB as a technology. Like, one is basically
unrelated.
One is basically a device driver, I guess. It's a digital I/O technology, MIDI 2.0, right? And the other is actually a piece of hardware that provides I/O into your computer or into your device. In your case, Kent, it's a montage.
When I get super nerdy, I put the pinouts for USB 3 with all the different shapes. So.
Yeah,
USB
that's what I was thinking too.
Kev, USB-B is actually pretty cool. Like, to be fair, like, I would prefer to connect up gear in the side or the back of my device with USB-B.
It's solid.
Well and truly more than any of these USB micros that you see. Like, I'm plugging into my...
Oh, God, let's not go. No, we don't want the mini or the micros.
This Akai sampler, the Electro sampler, like, it frustrates me because it has... where is the camera gone? There. It has USB micro on the side.
Yeah.
I hate the USB micro because that literally, like, just look how flimsy that bloody thing is.
Flimsy, yeah. You don't want to knock it. You cringe every time you do.
And there's nothing wrong with that cable. It's kind of,
I like USB Mini. It was good.
Everyone's in agreement.
USB Mini was small enough but sturdy.
Yeah, and then the micro was just useless. And yeah, because I hate the one in the Arturia.
I'm a child.
Keystep.
We're going to end the stream, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the wife will come in and knock on the door in a minute. She'll be like, what are you doing?
What are those weird sounds coming out of your room there?
What's that throbbing and
It was almost Ferris
squelching?
Bueller.
What channel's that on? Here we go. Here we go.
It's housey. That's
There we go. I got it now.
Yeah, you get. We're having snow.
Playing it
That
commercial.
William Orbit, Carmina Burana with the pulse
Oh,
screens.
so you got some other weird format, do you? That doesn't exist. Yamaha
Hey?
montage. I say. I am very, very, very happy with the montage. What montage is it? It's the MX. what do
Montage
you got?
M. Yeah, MX.
M8X. Makes.
They'll all be the same, I would imagine.
Mate X. All right. Let's go to the Yamaha website. The new one. It's new. I say. Get that into your pipe. I don't usually go to this website, and I can't find. I want to find. Oh, here we go. Overview specs, downloads, and manuals. Let's go PDF. PDF.
The connecting montage M Yamaha website shows a USB-B cable, a standard USB-B,
Let's have a look. I'm trying to find
which is
it.
the printer cable. So
I'm trying to find
Yeah.
a.
But we all know where's that printer cable.
This is the
Some
site here. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see it's a USB.
243
Hubs
mentions
as well.
of the word USB in the manual. Is there not a picture of the back of the synth here somewhere?
connections.
Connections.
What does
Let's go to
Google say?
Let's go to the quick start guide and see if that's even better.
Well, I got one picture that.
Here we go, pictures.
Yeah, I got one picture that shows from the manual, shows what looks like a USB B, traditional one, printer cable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a screenshot from it. What is it? Yeah, it's from Yamaha website. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, I found it. It's on page 26 of the Quick Start Guide. USB to device.
Yes. USB cable, 0.2. USB cable.
Yeah,
Setting
the
up for
website showed
sending
it.
and receiving MIDI.
It looks like a USB, just like a USB B. To
USB
me.
Type
USB
B.
B, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was saying. That website I found just showed it. It's how to connect your montage.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm just reading a little bit
I
deeper
was
just in
see if you can
case.
get a camera on and show us.
Yeah, we don't want to be responsible for buying like an unnecessary cable.
If I
Well,
see
he's the
you
one asking about weird ones.
and he goes, it's nothing like that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm just screenshotting the manual. Downloads, that'll do. Chuck it in there.
He says he's trying to get the camera on it.
So Ken, if you've got computers and printers laying around for years, you should have at least one of those cables somewhere.
That's what it shows in
Also,
the
MIDI
manual.
controllers come with that.
It's probably hooked up to his printer.
That diagram looks like a Type B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's the picture we're looking at.
Yeah.
Too.
So, and I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. Other than that,
But it's not. Because that's what
And
he's trying
just
to
like
get
with
the camera
printers, they didn't give you a cable with the
I'm
montage.
fucked if I know, because I need to see a picture of the back of it.
on. He's trying to get the camera on it.
Yeah, but I haven't got StreamYard connected, boys.
Right.
Boys.
Good point.
That's
yes.
probably why.
I could do. Let me get it up. bit.ly/Ranzee.
I wonder.
Every angle of a synth used to be a standard part of, like your press package for years and years and years. It always used to be. Well, fourth image will be the connections. That all seems to have gone by the wayside.
It's like don't worry. This USB monarchy can't be that tricky, surely.
Right.
K.
Virtual input. Let's do a virtual input.
What's
Let's
K?
do. I don't know.
So Kent, does it look like this?
You know what? If he's down a bit, Andy. Down a bit. Down a bit.
Thinking backward here.
Bit more. There. Whoa. Oh, you've gone back. There. Yeah. That's it.
That's your B. This is on the RC505.
Really weird is if he
The
shows
curve-
at us and we all
curvy
sit
part goes
there with
down.
a blank face because none of us have got a clue.
Oh, I can't get this to work. I can't get StreamYard to work on this Mac because I don't usually use it on here. So
I can only find very low res pictures of the back. When you zoom in, they turn into
Ben's going to know what the
Yamaha
it must be something really weird,
montage
'cause it's USB B.
MAX
it's probably a video with it in somewhere.
images.
Connecting your montage.
I mean, you would think it was something really weird or different. There would be a video screaming about it by now. I didn't even think to look at the back when I saw one at Guitar Center.
Here we go. Kent sent me a massage. A massage. Yeah, that's a Type B, mate. I'll share it with you guys. That's a Type B. It's a Type B, buddy. You get those down in the local shop. Couple of
like
bucks.
$5. It's a short one. Yeah.
That is what he sent me.
Oh yeah,
That's
there
just
you
a
go.
Type B.
Yeah, Type B.
this is Type B.
Yeah.
Notice
Type
how
B
it's, the
diabetes.
curve part is up, and on the 505, the curve part is down. So you get the orientation right. But
Yeah. So that's it that way, and sometimes you have it
So-
that way.
The only thing a little bit unusual about it, I'd say, is that the cutout's a bit small. It's a bit meager.
Yeah. Just
Some
chuck in a
cables.
standard printer cable. Your standard USB printer
I got-
cable will fit into that.
They got really long barrels on those particular cables. Really long, sort of exposed part that they do tend to go in
Yeah, cool.
through deep panels.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed.
Cool. This bloody thing, he says. This bloody thing. Well, it's a Type B. It's probably the most common USB printer cable you can get. So
After
you're not going to have trouble finding somewhere to find if you haven't got one in the studio there. I reckon just dig through a couple of old
Yeah. So it's that way up.
computer bits and you'll find one. Yeah, Darren's got it.
Andy's was that way up,
Yeah, that's
So Andy's
that's
was
the
that way
trick.
up.
Yeah.
and the one on the montage is that way up.
yeah,
Turn
just
it
to keep you on
around.
your toes.
Turn it around. Put a bit of lube on it. Spit on it.
Yeah. Bob's your uncle.
No, that's for Volcas. That's you're supposed to put Volcas there.
Yeah, you only need lube and Volkers.
All right, we're gonna have to end this stream, and hey, stay tuned because if Kent's doing the pub later on today, there'll be an update on the USB cable. I'm telling you, check his channel out. Has anyone bought the,
Check an old printer and see if it's wrapped around. The printer is what people usually do when they pack away an old printer they don't want anymore. They wrap the cable around them.
work stat is still for sale? No one's taken up on the offer on that. And let's have a look at the other channel that I wanted to look at. Still 3 baskets. 5 left are in 3 baskets. Whoa,
Since Kent's on the chat, go to the link I put in chat.
Chris, it's growing.
The private chat.
It's growing.
That's Kent's favorite instrument.
All right. Join the pub later. Check out Kent's USB plugging conundrums. And see you guys next Saturday. And in between, please press record. Please press record. Give yourself a bit of synth love and do something. Hey, what the hell? I don't usually have pieces of wood there. I don't know why I put that there. Anyway, TTFN, as they say in the classics. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Andy, for being awesome as usual. See you guys.
See you guys.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Everyone, take care.
Oh, very nice.
All the best.
Bit of Star Trek original series memorabilia.
It's a zoom pedal thing.
Oh, okay.